third straight year that Apopka is there. I saw a bunch of their fans already out tailgating. The Blue Darters won the championship in 2012, but came up short last year against South Dade. Tonight, they get Miami's Christopher Columbus High School. This season, it has been a bumpy road to the Citrus Bowl. Apopka lost 4 regular season games, including back-to-back losses to American Heritage and Edgewater in late October. But since the postseason started, the Blue Darters have transformed back into the dominant Blue Darters, scoring an average of 48 points per playoff game.
We've definitely gotten better, lost some games in their season in just ridiculous fashion, with the way we imploded at the end of games. And so, we cut out the mistakes and have been playing a lot better football the last 4 weeks, without a doubt.
Now, Osceola was in action at the Citrus Bowl last night in the 7A championship game, but nothing went right for the Cowboys. St. Thomas Aquinas star Jordan Scarlett broke off this 39-yard touchdown run in the first half. The Miami commit finished the night with 124 yards on the ground and that score. On the other side, Osceola managed just 38 yards of total offense and went backwards most of the first half. St. Thomas Aquinas wins their 8th state championship. 31-0 was the final. On the college ranks, Will Muschamp's unemployment
Network, your home for high school sports. Channel 47 and HD 1147, exclusively on Bright House Networks. The following Bright House Sports Network presentation is brought to you in high definition.
Hours, days, years, time spent relentlessly pursuing a dream. Teams have battled, players have pushed themselves. In the football hotbed of Florida, there's nothing that compares to a state championship. Now those dreams come true. Who will achieve glory? Who will own the moment? It's time to make history at the FHSAA Football Finals on Bright House Sports Network.
Fans from Apopka started tailgating more than 3 hours before kickoff as their beloved Blue Darters have reached the Citrus Bowl for the 3rd straight season. For Columbus from Miami, it's their first appearance in the championship game since 1982. Columbus and Apopka in the 8A title game, next on Bright House Sports Network. Bright House Sports Network welcomes you to the 2014 FHSAA Football Finals presented by Champion. It's another cool, clear evening at the Citrus Bowl on the final night of the high school football season. Tonight, a champion will be crowned in Florida's largest classification as Columbus takes on Apopka in the 8A title game. Here's a look at how both teams reached tonight's championship game. Apopka hung 64 on First Coast, 45 last week against Manatee. Columbus from Miami knocked off unbeaten teams the last 2 weeks, including nationally ranked Flanagan in the state semifinals. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Citrus Bowl with Pat O'Hara. I'm Austin Lyon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, for Apopka, it's their 3rd consecutive trip to the 8A championship game, and tonight the Blue Darters' throwback single-wing offense goes up against a stout defense from Columbus.
No, Austin, you just don't see this single-wing attack at any level. Apopka runs it like a science, but defensively, Columbus has gotten here with defense. Tough task tonight.
Probably the most surprising run this year for Apopka, considering the Blue Darters had 4 regular season losses. Not many people expected Apopka to make it back here.
Yeah, you can't look at the record. The 4 losses are interesting, but no one prepares their team late in the season better than Rick Darlington. They're playing excellent football right now.
Trying to win their 3rd state championship in program history. 9 guys tonight playing in their 3rd title game. That group includes Chandler Cox, who epitomizes everything this program is about.
He really does. Basically, he's a tackle football player. He played any position. He play on defense. He play at safety, linebacker. Tonight he'll play predominantly on offense at quarterback and running back position for the single wing offense.
And more often than not, he'll be running behind the nation's #1 overall prospect, Martez Ivey.
Yeah, and he'll play all over that offensive line. He'll play left tackle, left guard, right guard. They'll move him around. Very versatile.
Apopka's defense this year has struggled against elite receivers at times. They've been beat for big plays down the field, and Columbus has a good receiver in Austin Maloney.
Yeah, at times Apopka will give up points to receivers. Austin Maloney is going to be a big factor tonight with his ability to run great routes, high point the ball, great body control, headed to FIU.
Only Division I commit on the Explorers roster and hoping to lead Columbus to its first ever state football championship. Should be an intriguing matchup tonight. For more on these two teams, we send it down to the field. Here are Preston Jackson and Mark Robinson.
Thank you, fellas. Well, Mark, one of the most anticipated games of the large class state championships.
It is.
Apopka and Columbus. We should have a good one coming up. We've got your Gulf Coast and Central Florida High-Dealers keys to the game before kickoff. Apopka comes into the game of the 8 championship teams. They are the top yardage gainers of all 8 teams, over 6,000 yards. How is Columbus going to attack them to slow down that offense?
Well, you know, you got to be able to be in there and keep your eyes out of the backfield. If you start looking back in there, you're going to have problems out there. And I think that what you got to do is going to be a lot of misdirections, a lot of things going on. But when you talk about defending the run, you got to get up and get penetration. And as we've seen the past 2 weekends, Preston, we've seen the people who can set the edge are the people that are going to be able to stop the run. So it's interesting to see how well they do in that area.
Columbus has a very good defense. Of the last 7 games, they've only allowed 28 total points. Very good offense, very balanced run and pass. How are they going to attack Apopka?
Well, Apopka, you know, you're getting after people, and we kind of talked a little bit about that and coming through is, you know, when you're trying to attack Apopka out there, Apopka's got that misdirection. They're going to do the things, moving people around, and, you know, when we talk about that about Apopka, if you get them behind, Preston, it's going to be hard for them to come back.
Now, Apopka, take care of air traffic control. We got to stop Columbus through the air, big playability. When we return, we're going back upstairs. We'll have kickoff, 8A state championship, right after the commercial break.
A championship game between Columbus and Apopka from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. A gorgeous evening tonight in Central Florida. 58 degrees. That will drop as the game goes on, but otherwise weather should not be a factor in determining the outcome tonight. Third member of our crew, Tiffany Green, down on the field with Darters head coach Rick Darlington.
Coach Darlington, your team always seems to gel at the right time, especially in the playoffs. What was the key to your success all season?
Well, we believe in what we do, and we play hard and play for each other, so we just got to do one more time.
What was the message in the locker room to your guys?
Play for each other, play hard. You know, it was a bad taste last year. We don't want it to happen again, and we got to go out here and play more physical and tougher and stronger than them. And they're a great team, but it's about us. You know, the only thing that can beat us is ourselves.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Tiffany, thank you very much. Columbus won the coin toss and elected to receive. So Chris Merritt, now in his 14th year, wants his offense out on the field first. One of the big keys for him, he told us earlier this week, was getting out to an early lead. He said Apopka is a much different team playing from behind than they are playing with the lead.
Well, they are Apopka with their single wing attack. You know, when you get behind, if as an Apopka offense, you got to throw the ball a little bit more, makes it more difficult. And he said his football team for Columbus, they've started fast all year long. It has to be that way tonight. Probably why they accepted the ball and wanted it to start out here in the first half.
Tyler LaRue has it teed up in the middle of the field at the 40. Away we go in the 8A title game. Kick will be fielded at the 22. And getting up beyond the 30 is Ivan Smith. Quarterback for Columbus is Tucker Byrne. He is a physical presence, 6'2", 225 pounds, an outstanding senior season for the Explorers QB.
Yeah, he sure looks the part too, Austin. 6'2", 225. You can see the yards, 23 touchdowns, 7 receptions. Came in from Colorado and lit it up in the state as a freshman. He's come here to South Florida. You can see his physical presence out there. Big body guy.
Third-year starter. He's the all-time leading passer at Columbus, ahead of guys like Mike Shula and Brian Greasy. Explorers open with no backs and 5 wide receivers and a penalty flag.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So much talk about Apopka's offense, and rightly so, but the Blue Darters' defense vastly improved from what we saw in the regular season.
They've improved a great deal, but I think Tucker Byrne's got to have, Tucker Byrne's got a huge night tonight passing the football. One of the weaknesses or chink in the armor for Apopka has been in coverage and defending the pass. Byrne's got to have a huge night tonight to keep his team in the game.
Once again, no backs. And a throw completion to the 34. That's Boston Maloney, who we profiled in the open, and now they'll rule that incomplete. Here are the starters for Columbus, backs and receivers. Andres Fernandez gets the start at running back. He'll split reps with Ivan Smith. Danny Fernandez, the game-winning touchdown reception last week against Flanagan. 3 seniors on the offensive line. The biggest of that group, Kevin Householder, 6'2", 300-pound junior. Then that pass ruled incomplete, so second down and 15 for Columbus. Good protection from the offensive line. Pass incomplete at the 39. Multiple flags come in as Ray Smith dragged down David Pugh.
Yeah, you kind of see the plan right off the bat here is to pass the football and make Apopka defend it on their back end. That time, really good job of defending the pass, but Ray got there too quickly.
Pass interference in high school football is a 15-yard penalty. This is going to result in the first down.
Yeah, I've gone empty backfield the first 3 plays of this football game. Good coverage, but Ray Smith just made contact a little bit early, and official felt like that was a flag.
Looked like Pugh hadn't even come out of his break yet, and Smith had knocked him on the ground.
Boy, Ray Smith, he's made some huge plays in state championships games in the past.
There's defensive pass interference. Result of the play would be a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
It's Marty Pelenick, West Coast Officials Association crew that based out of Tampa. And already 2 flags, one on Columbus, 15-yard pass interference penalty against Apopka, moves the ball out to the 40, and a fresh set of downs for the Explorers.
Well, now you see a little change in plans of first down. Back to their normal I-set offense right here for Columbus.
Play fake by Byrne. Going to take a deep shot into double coverage, knocked down by Ben Bascom. Apopka's defense, a 4-3 with Jeff Rolson as the coordinator. Gavin Johnson leads the team with 9 sacks. Johnny Robinson has a couple of Division I offers. Billy Coggle, middle linebacker, leading tackler for the 2nd straight season. He's got more than 100 tackles this year. He's a Richmond commit. And the secondary has played a lot better in the last month with the return of Ben Bascom. He is a 3-year starter, missed 6 weeks with a broken fibula. First running play for Columbus is a toss to Ivan Smith. Got maybe a yard. Revisit that Blue Darters secondary. Already seen Ray Smith. Terrell Tinsley, just a junior, along with Rodre Hardwick.
Yeah, interesting first 3 plays, passes. Come back to their I-set, little toss play to Ivan Smith, who's been excellent for Columbus, but Apopka ready for it. Now 3rd and long.
Byrne throwing the out route. Maloney was able to make the catch. Looks like he'll be about a half yard shy of the first. They'll mark it in between the 49 and the 50. Columbus needed to get to midfield.
Well, you see the arm talent of Tucker Byrne. This is a deep comeback route. And Maloney trying to get right at the sticks, has to come back to the ball, brings him just a hair short.
How about where he caught it?
He caught it between his legs. You got a bigger group now coming on the field. Tucker Byrne still coming at quarterback, but they're bringing in their big group to rush this football, I think, try to get a yard. But at 225 pounds, Austin, you might want to see a quarterback sneak.
Apopka brings in an extra defensive lineman. They're running someone off the field late. A flag is down. Apopka had 12 guys on the field. I don't think the result of the play is even going to matter, as Byrne was able to sneak ahead for the first.
Timeout, Apopka.
Oh, wow.
Now that is a huge break. The official on the Apopka sideline did not signal timeout. The flag came in.
Interesting. Well, Columbus, Coach Merritt from Columbus brought in his heavy group and substituted in about 4 people. Apopka was trying to adjust to get their bigger group in to defend it. Tucker Byrne is no secret. He's going to go quarterback sneak. He's one of the biggest guys on the field at 225, 230 pounds. But Rick Darlington with a timeout right before the play. And now you wonder what Chris Merritt will dial up. You're on 4th down.
Merritt told us earlier this week they're a run-first team. Didn't like the matchup because of how stout Apopka was in front. Then you see Malik Doe coming on the field late. Gavin Johnson's running off. He did not make it to the sideline before that ball was snapped, but the officials ruled that Apopka got the timeout in. So we'll do it again. 4th and half a yard for Columbus. That timeout looms large if the Explorers don't make it. Long count, Byrne gonna sneak it, and I don't think he got there. Great push from the interior of Apopka's defensive line. Blue Darters defense coming off the field. They think they've got to stop.
Yeah, they might want to measure that. They may have a stop, but I don't think he got it.
We're going to timeout for measurement.
Well, they tried to draw him off sides with a hard count, and if that didn't work, they're going to go quarterback sneak, and a lot of penetration there. It looked like the left guard twitched a little bit too, but they let that go. And looking at this spot from up here, Austin, I think they're short.
They had to get to midfield, and the ball is a few inches shy of the midfield line, so I don't see how this is going to end up being a first down. Apopka's defense comes up with a huge stop on the opening possession of the game, and the Blue Darters will start at midfield.
What a huge timeout. He had 12 men on the field. He called timeout to make sure you don't get the flag. They convert anyway, and then you come back on 4th down and get a huge stop. Now this single wing attack that Columbus has been trying to mimic in practice. Now they're going to see live bullets right now of this single wing attack and how quickly it can come at you.
Offense is putting up more than 42 points per game. Direct snap to Deshaun Massey, and the 5'2" sophomore with a gain of 25 yards on Apopka's first offensive play.
Pre-game, Austin, Chris Merritt had his defensive coordinator out there with his show cards to mimic all these plays because they've been trying to defend it. Well, when you're going full speed and you got Massey, who's 5'2", if that, you can't even tell who's got the ball. Look what the defense is seeing. You just can't even tell who has it. And Massey with a great gain on 1st down.
So often that Blue Darters offensive front creates gaping holes for their backs. Massey in motion. Dimitri Birch fakes to him, looks for room off the right side, and got about 3 down to the 22.
Yeah, this time you get Massey going in fly motion across the field. Birch pulls it out. He's been efficient, taking care of the ball as far as interceptions. Doesn't throw the ball a lot, Austin, in this single wing attack, but he's managed this thing well. But you'll also see Chandler Cox playing quarterback with direct snaps. You'll see Massey get direct snaps. It's really like a 3-quarterback system.
Coach has actually rushed for 1,340 yards this year, 19 touchdowns on the ground. Leading rusher for this Apopka offense. This time he'll hand to Massey. Terrific penetration. Ball comes out. Loose at the 25. Columbus defenders say they got it. No signal from the officials. And now they rule third down. Looked like it may have been Deshaun Massey at the bottom of the pile.
This is the only thing that can really hurt Apopka is putting the ball on the ground. And this time Massey gives it up. Great scheme defensively to stop this jet sweep. Great penetration. That ball comes out. Looks like Chandler Cox got it back. I don't know how he did, but he got it. Wow, maybe Massey got it.
It was Fernando Escobar that forced the fumble. Senior linebacker and leading tackler. 3rd and 10 for the Blue Daughters. Cox going to throw it. And that was well defended by Columbus. Knocked away by Anthony Rosenfeld as Cox looked to get it to J.J. Simmons.
That's the key for Columbus defensively, is to be good on early downs. Put them in long 3rd down situations, because Apopka will have to throw the football. You see right there, nearly intercepted by Columbus and Anthony Rosenfeld.
There's Alex Trujillo, defensive coordinator, with Chris Merritt since his 2nd year at the school. Columbus failed on 4th and 1. Apopka going to go for it on 4th and 10. Some movement up front, and flags come down. Apopka usually gets defenses into the neutral zone once or twice a game.
Snap, encroachment, defense.
Yeah, you're right, Austin. It's because of the way their offensive line played. Watch them snap down their hand into formation. When you're all geeked up for this state championship game, you get going a little too quick. Now an extra 5 yards. A little more manageable situation on this 4th and 5 now for Apopka.
Rick Darlington passes on what would be a 37-yard field goal attempt from Tyler LaRue. All kinds of shifting. You'll see that a lot from Apopka's offense. This is J.J. Simmons on 4th and 5. And he'll have the first down. Chandler Cox and James Kreider out in space, paving the way for Cox to convert on 4th down.
This is what Rick Darlington will do. He'll shift the whole line to create a situation where no edge can be set defensively, and easily that 5 yards is gained and move the chains on 4th down. Look at the movement. Chandler Cox leading out front. You're usually going to win when you get that big-bodied guy in front of you.
Cox right through the center of the line, runs over a defender and takes it to the 3.
You see the power of Chandler Cox. Get introduced to Chandler Cox. Here you go. Wow. Penetrating, punishing rush by Chandler Cox.
Bryce Handy, who absorbed a blow from Cox. Call it 2nd down and 2. Apopka goes for it on 4th and 5, makes it now on the doorstep with Massey working his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
This is a team in the past that set the scoring record in a season in the state of Florida with a single wing attack. And it's because it's so much deception. Look at Martez Ivy out in front of the 5'2", Massey, 6'6", in front of 5'2".
Rick Darlington oftentimes will line up in an offensive set to see how the defense reacts. Apopka goes for 2 a fair amount of the time. Tyler LaRue, 57 of 60 on PATs this year. That one splits the uprights. Apopka's defense, a 4th down stop at midfield. The offense with a 4th down conversion, and Massey finishes the drive with a touchdown.
Impressive drive, and started off on the very first play of their possession. The nice run by Massey. I'm sure Massey's going to get a conversation from Rick Darlington about not putting the ball on the ground. That's the one thing that really hurt. 3 turnovers last year in the state championship game against South Dade, putting the ball on the ground. penalties and long yard situations. Look at the misdirection. Martez Ivy, big 77. I'll tell you what, Massey's listed at 5'2". I don't know if he's 5'2", but he packs a punch with his size.
Apopka racks up just more than 440 yards per game on offense. You see 12.2 for Columbus. The most points the Explorers have given up in the postseason is 12. That came last week against a nationally ranked Flanagan team.
You don't see defensively having to face teams that run the single wing. Just not many schools that do it. Rick Darlington's Apopka football team, they run it like a science. A lot of misdirection. You've got to really read your keys and be disciplined to defend it.
Another short kickoff from LaRue. This one fielded by Ivan Smith at the 30. Laquan Hicks and Jarrell Tinsley right there to usher him out of bounds. Now we saw some different things from Columbus on their first offensive possession. Saw some spread, saw some power eye. This is an Apopka run defense that is superb. Defensive line greatly improved from the start of the season.
Yeah, they really have improved since the beginning of the season. And like I said, for Columbus, Tucker Byrne, he's going to have a big game with his arm, keep his team in his game.
Byrne throws on the run and over the head of Pugh. Rick Darlington in his second stint as the Apopka head coach. Was with the Blue Darters from 1999 to 2002 and has been back with the program since 2006.
The thing about Rick Darlington is not just a single wing guy. I mean, he'll do what's best for the personnel that he has. He started out the season run a little more spread. He had Chandler Cox playing more defense, felt he needed him there. As the season went on, the players got more comfortable with what they're doing. They got back to their single wing attack, and they've been shredding people offensively on the ground.
One of his great attributes as a coach, adjusting his system based on the talent, and he's certainly done that with this year's group. Official stop play prior to 2nd down and 10.
Prior to the snap, we have a delay of game against the offense.
Well, Columbus just hasn't quite found that rhythm they want yet offensively, but they've been a team that has started fast in the past. But listen, this Apopka team, they've been here 3 straight years. This is nothing new to them. For Columbus, it's been since 1982 since they've been in the championship game.
We wondered how these players would react on this stage for the first time. Quick screen out to Maloney. David Britzius turns him back inside. Billy Coggle delivers the hit. No gain.
Billy Coggle, to me, is one of the top inside linebackers in Central Florida. Makes a ton of tackles. The coach's son, Coach Coggle's on the staff here for Apopka. Coggle really runs well laterally, sideline to sideline, but boy, he can fill gaps too inside the box area.
More than 300 career tackles for Coggle, committed to Richmond in August.
Well deserved. I think Richmond's got a heck of a gem in Coggle.
Just past the midway point of the first quarter. 3rd and 15. Tucker Byrne 1 of 5 so far. And another penalty flag down. What a real choppy start to this game for Columbus.
Yeah, it really is. And again, it might be the stage. I mean, this is a huge stage to be on.
Prior to the snap, we have a false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Like you said, Austin, you got to start fast against this Apopka football team, because before you know it, they've got their offense in the field running this single wing attack, and before you know it, they've lit up the scoreboard with a ton of points. Now you got a 3rd and 20 situation. I think for Tucker Byrne, you just try to get a piece of it back. Play field position.
Timeout. Official water break.
Chris Merritt a chance to get his group over to the sideline prior to 3rd down and 20. Apopka trying to win its 2nd state title in 3 years. Blue Darters off to a great start. Massey touchdown run has them in front, 7-0.
Crowd comes alive. Lewis pump fakes. Now lofts it in the air. It's money man Montgomery. Oh my my goodness! Apopka now back to work. Cox, touchdown! Here comes the rush. The quarterback lofts it, corner of the end zone. Is it intercepted? Yes, it is. So what has been a remarkable football game ends in the most dramatic of fashions.
Interception by Rakeem Smith sealed the 2012 state title for Apopka, 53-50. Final score of that one of the most epic championship games in FHSAA history. Out of the timeout, Columbus facing 3rd down and 20. Burns steps up, goes down, the ball comes out. It's recovered by Jason Toussaint of Apopka at the 15. Did the officials rule him down? Looks like they did.
Well, fortunate for Columbus. Pass rush, really 3rd and 20. Take what you can get or throw it away, but really no time for Tucker Byrne. Great penetration from the tackle position by Quantarius Bourne.
Bourne's a promising sophomore. That's his 9th sack. Joey Tolgisi standing just outside his own goal line. From midfield, big hit delivered on Ray Smith. Looked like that ball started to pop free. He was able to gather it. 37-yard punt. Great field position for the Blue Darters.
Well, it couldn't have been a better start for Apopka. They dodged a couple bullets. Did the stop on 4th down when Apopka had 12 men on the field and called the timeout. And then Massey put the ball on the ground, able to recover it. But other than that, what a great start on both sides of the ball. And you'll see if now that Columbus has seen this single wing attack in person, see if they can defend it a little bit better on this drive.
Birch in motion. It'll be Cox. Knocked down by Bryce Handy. Those two already a couple collisions in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you see Handy this time. He went a little lower, Austin, on Chandler Cox. There's Martez Ivy. Watch him at left tackle position. He's nasty too now, and I mean that as a compliment. You want your offensive lineman to play with an edge, and he plays with an edge, and again, he'll play tackle, guard. A lot of tackle tonight, though, for Martez Ivy.
Most people believe it will be either Auburn or Florida that ends up getting a commitment. Cox going to throw it. He's got Dakari Campbell, the blocking back, puts the ball on the ground. It's loose at the 25. Well, we've seen ball security issues for both teams tonight. One Apopka player came diving in for it, and the Blue Darters recover.
Well, we've seen Dakari Campbell put the football on the ground in the past, too. Doesn't get a whole lot of touches, but when he does, he's effective. But Dakari Campbell, we saw him put it on the ground against West Orange about a month ago, similar type situation. And this is a defense of Columbus that really rallies to the ball. But wow, another bullet dodged by Apopka.
David Douglas recovered the fumble for the Blue Darters. Second time they've put it on the ground and gotten it back. Birch running left. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage by Peter Delator.
Peter Delator, the sideline player. Coach Merritt raved about him and his defensive play. He ran this play down from the backside. Tremendous speed and acceleration. Tackle for a loss right there. You just wonder those two balls that Apopka put on the ground if they had gone the other way for Columbus.
Certainly plays that Chris Merritt will look back at if things don't turn out well for the Explorers. Another wholesale shift and a run by Cox.
Again, these are the situations now, these 3rd downs. Coach Merritt said we got to be good on early downs defensively to make 3rd downs, long yardage situations. But down here in the high red zone, this is 4-down territory for Apopka. They showed that on the previous drive, converting on 4th down.
Ryder and J.J. Simmons exit the field. Heavier package for Apopka. Birch hands off to Massey. And Massey Really skips as he gets to the perimeter. So shifty in the open field. Once again, Chandler Cox providing a key block to spring the sophomore back.
Well, watch, Brandy sets the edge over here, number 26. Looks like Chandler Cox held him a little bit on the face mask, but gets away with it. And Massey sneaks out to the edge. Same play they ran on 4th down, previous drive, and converted for a 1st down.
Blue Darters looking to add to their 7-0 lead. Cox hit behind the line of scrimmage. It was Delator once again. Bryce Handy also rallied to the football.
Yeah, Delator again. Excellent football player. His defense, they don't give up many points. Tackle for loss here. See Ivy, they're trying to get run behind Ivy, but a lot of penetration from the backside sneaks through, able to get a tackle for a loss.
Columbus defense has only given up 128 rushing yards total in their last 3 games. That's certainly going to be put to the test tonight. 2nd down and 11. Birch flips it to Massey. Working, diving into the end zone. 2nd touchdown tonight for Deshaun Massey.
Misdirection, single wing, handoff and a toss on the reverse. You've got to set the edge on the perimeter or Massey will shred you. Massey all foot 5'2" of them, able to jump in for another pocket touchdown.
You can see on that end zone replay a lot of confusion from the Columbus defenders about who had the ball. By the time they found out, Massey was already inside the 5. Once again, you see the Apopka field goal team shift down.
False start, offense.
And this time they're called for a penalty.
Yeah, if you watch this PAT attempt, watch Apopka's offensive line here snap down into a 3-point stance, trying to draw the defense off sides. Watch them all snap down in unison.
Five yards matters not to LaRue. He's 2 for 2 on PATs. 14-0 Apopka. Massey with both TDs as we check in with Tiffany.
And guys, Apopka's running backs are typically known for being quick and shifted. There's something that also stands out about them. They're usually 5'6" or shorter. And Deshaun Massey, we already mentioned that he comes in about 5'3", but what he's been able to do is just run with a low center of gravity. And during practice, Chandler Cox says he's one of the hardest guys to tackle because you just can't find him. They had success with Jeffrick Blocker back in that 2012 state championship game, and they're going back to their mighty might and Deshaun Massey this season. Guys?
Yeah, Tiff, he wasn't playing much early in the season when Chandler was out there, but has increased his role, has gotten more and more carries as the season has gone along. Rick Darlington told us before the West Orange game, one of our broadcasts in Central Florida, he's a secret asset for us. A lot of teams just don't understand how valuable he is.
He really is in the single wing attack, and Tiffany hit it right on the head. Every year that they've had a lot of success, they've had a really short stature type running back, and literally you can't see him from the defensive side of the ball. With all the misdirection they do, it becomes effective for Apopka.
Ivan Smith dragged down by the jersey by Rodre Hardwick. With that run by Massey, he's now over 1,000 yards, 2nd consecutive season that Apopka has produced 3,000-yard rushers.
Rush the football, all 3 of them. And see Chandler Cox there listed as an athlete. That's pretty accurate. Guy can play anywhere on the field. Not only is he a great football player, but he has some intangible leadership qualities that resonate throughout this whole thing.
Columbus comes out in the eye. A straight ahead run by Andres Fernandez. Difficult to run the football against the Blue Darters. giving up 82 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, and Coggle, I'll tell you what, you can line up in the eye and just try to run ISO against Apopka and Coggle right there. You have a tough time doing it. It's tough to move those bodies around. Very well coached team on the defensive side of the ball. Again, I really think for Columbus, Tucker Burns going to have a huge game with his arm.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy?
Burn thus far just 2 for 6. Play action on 2nd down and 9. Wide open is Maloney. And up to the 45 with a Columbus first down.
Again, Tucker Burns, you see the arm talent. Player we featured, Maloney right there. Really good route runner. Runs a nice comeback route here. Play action pass. I'll tell you what, Tucker Burns got a big arm. Seems like he's settling down now here. Nice first down, moving the ball towards midfield. They've been in their own half of this field the whole first quarter.
Maloney headed to Florida International. The bigger schools are interested with this postseason run that Columbus has gone on. Ivan Smith trying to run wide. Bascom from his safety spot tripped him up.
Nice job by Bascom. Like you said, kind of struggled with some injuries. A good tackler in space. Watch Bascom just running laterally, fire out of the secondary and a shoestring tackle for loss.
Bascom missed 6 weeks. Had surgery after Apopka's game in week 5. That leg's still tender, but he's brought a huge spark to this defense with his competitiveness. First game back was the regional semifinal against West Orange. Rick Darlington said his presence in that game was huge. Byrne throwing on the run. Maloney hauls it in right at midfield. They'll mark him down at the 49. And as the first quarter comes to a close, Columbus will face 3rd and 5. What a first quarter for Apopka. 2 touchdown runs for Deshaun Massey. 14-0 Blue Daughters in the 8A title game. Orlando. A picture coming from atop the Amway Center, right along I-4. And just a couple miles away, we're at the Citrus Bowl. Look inside our production truck for tonight's 8A championship game, which is produced by Bright House Sports Network, the official television partner of the Florida High School Athletic Association. As we start the second quarter, an important 3rd down for Columbus.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you don't convert here and you punt it away. You'd hate to go down 3 possessions this early.
Explorers 0 for 2 on 3rd down thus far. Byrne looking down the middle, right through the hands of Ben Bascom. Should have been picked.
Wow, a dangerous pass by Byrne. Really hit as he threw it. A good pass rush by Apopka. Ben Bascom wants that one back. Austin went right through his hands. But Apopka's going to get this football back.
And the onus on this Columbus defense, which in the first quarter gave up more points than it had in any game during the postseason. Giese. Ray Smith on the run at the 19 and hit immediately. Josh Uche was downfield in a hurry.
We got a player down here for Columbus. Pretty big collision down there with about 3 players, including Ray Smith. See what happened here. A big hit right at the point of attack, and just got landed on was Anthony Rosenfeld. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him.
Rosenfeld starting strong safety. Chris Mara told us that sometimes he flies up the field so fast that he can be like a bug on a windshield. A fearless player in the Explorers secondary, and now he'll be helped to his feet by one of the trainers and a teammate. Looks like he's going to need some assistance getting to the sideline.
Looks like a left leg or knee situation. These guys been here before, 3 years in a row, right down the road from Apopka. So this is almost like a home game for Apopka tonight.
Only the 4th team in Central Florida history to reach a state title game 3 years in a row. Edgewater did it in the large classification from 02 to 04. Coco and Warner Christian both made 3 straight title games from 2008 to 2010. Apopka scored on each of its first 2 drives. This one starts from the 19. J.J. Simmons running right, slithered through a hole, and then was driven back at the 31. Show you the Apopka offensive starters. Already called the names of a lot of these guys. Birch, Cox, Massey now all over 1,000 yards. Dakari Campbell thriving in the blocking back role. We'll talk more about him as the night goes on. We featured Martez Ivy in the open. He'll move around a lot, play guard and tackle. The only other senior up front is Dion Ross. Ruben Lewis, Blake Bailey, both juniors. Julian Miller is a sophomore. On 2nd down and 3, another touch for Massey.
Austin, it's just the precision. It's a thing of beauty. They got all these teams that run all these spread offenses and throwing the ball all over the place. But the precision of this single wing attack is really fun to watch. It's a thing of beauty.
There's a great quote from Rick Darlington in our meeting with him earlier this week. You have to be better or different. And they are certainly different, which ultimately may result in them being better than everyone else in Class 8A.
Great point.
Cox, another 1st down run out to the 43. An 11-yard gain for number 11.
That's what Chris Merritt, head coach of Columbus, was worried about, is time of possession as well. Just possessing the ball with this rushing attack. Chandler Cox is a load now. You get him out to the 2nd level, he'll just stiff arm you, and you got to hold on for dear life to bring him down. Headed to Auburn. But just rushing the football this often, this effectively, just kills the clock and wears down defenses.
The play that started the drive. Simmons gets to the edge, and he's got great speed. Accelerates into Columbus territory, out of bounds at the 45.
You've got to set the edge and take proper outside arm free technique. But Brady, the excellent cornerback of Columbus, is at the edge, but he takes the wrong approach with Chandler Cox. And then you've got the edge, and now J.J. Simmons, another 1st down.
Simmons, 41 career touchdowns. Not as good this year as he has been the last couple of years. Got hurt late in the regular season. But certainly looked good on that run for 12. Cox gets to the outside. Punishing blocks being delivered by both the offensive line, the backs and receivers, and a flag comes down.
This is going to come back. This is a hold on Apopka. I really thought they got away with a hold or two in the 1st quarter. But a definite hold at the point of attack.
We've seen Columbus hurt by penalties, and now a holding infraction against Apopka.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
They'll move it back to the 45.
Well, watch number 39 for Columbus in the white jersey. Number 39 gets held right there and driven to the ground. A definite hold situation. Dimitri Birch, now the lead blocker. Normally the quarterback gets the holding foul.
So from 1st down at the Columbus 30 to 1st and 20 back at their own 45. Cox going to throw it. Got a wide open man in the middle of the field. It's Simmons. Down inside the 30. Ball comes out, and it's recovered by the Explorers. Patrick Elias hopped on the football at the 32.
official signal yet. But it sure looked like Columbus recovered it. But then there was a fight down on the bottom of that pile.
It sure looked like Elias possessed that football and was on the ground, and that's what they're going to rule.
I think that's the right call. Apopka's dodged a couple bullets with turnovers, put the ball on the ground 3 times, got it back twice. But this time they give it up. Every once in a while they'll throw the ball, and when they do, people are wide open. And Simmons got to possess the ball because this is an opportunistic football team that gets a lot of turnovers. Columbus got here because of their ability to strip the football. And a great job by J.R. Garrido of stripping the ball so his partners can come get the football and get it back to their offense.
Garrido, one of the defensive captains for Columbus. 28th takeaway this season for that Explorers defense. And it could not have come at a better time. Byrne, high arcing pass down the middle, incomplete, and a flag's going to come out. Billy Coggle never found the football. 2 more flags come in just for good measure.
Really a dangerous pass by Tucker Byrne. And I'll tell you what, Apopka's done a great job on the back end thus far. We've seen them over the course of the year have their struggles.
We have pass interference on the defense.
We've seen Apopka at times struggle in the secondary, but the return of Bascom thus far and through the playoffs has really helped iron out the back end. But right here, really dangerous pass by Tucker Byrne, throwing that ball into coverage.
Defensive pass and interference, 15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
You look at Apopka's 4 losses. Lost the opener to Oak Ridge. It's the 4th straight year they've lost their season opener. FSU commit Nyquan Murray had a massive game, 2 late touchdown catches, and then a Hail Mary on the final play of the game against Edgewater. Eagles won 46-42. Pass interference moves the ball to the 47. Byrne trying to set up a screen. It's not there. Pumps and finally gets it to Ivan Smith. Bascom brings him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, the return of Bascom, you touched on it earlier, returning from injury has been huge for the secondary. They've had troubles there at that position without Bascom involved, and what a great job defensively. A good play call by Columbus to try and set up something with a screen, but Apopka sniffed it out. Able to get a tackle for a loss. I'm impressed with Apopka on the back end of their defense thus far.
Gave up 45 points to West Orange in the regular season. Came back and shut the Warriors out in the region semifinals. That's the best example of this unit's improvement. Right down the seam, it's zipped in to Nick Hernandez, his 13th catch of the year into Apopka territory.
Nice ball by Byrne, exploiting the intermediate area of that secondary. 2 deep type coverage. Settle down in that middle zone, and Hernandez with the catch. And now finally moving down into the high red zone of Apopka. And a good ball by Tucker Byrne. Accurately thrown ball. Good ball possession by Fernandez.
Gain of 21. Longest play of the night for the Explorers. Long run for Pugh. The give is to Fernandez. And he is thrown down after maybe a yard.
Again, it's tough to rush against this Apopka football team. I think Coach knows that Fernandez really nowhere to go. Apopka's always athletic and well coached in their front 7. And they see the run every day in practice, so they're very good against it. Again, Tucker Byrne is the key to the success in his arm and what he can do tonight for Columbus.
And the quality of this defensive front even more impressive when you consider that all 4 guys that were starters last year are now playing football in college as Byrne misses high on the sideline for Pugh.
Yeah, Byrne, that's the 2nd time he's gone full sprint to his right and really kind of sailed the ball, throwing it high. He's had about 3 balls that went real high on him, sailed. Brings up, that would have made a more manageable 3rd down situation if he can be accurate with that ball, but now 39 for Columbus.
It'll be a 50-yard field goal from here. Gotta figure this is probably 2-down territory. Obviously, that depends on what happens here. 3rd down and 9. Byrne throwing the out route and a completion to Jerron Rollins.
Big time throw, Austin. Big time throw on this comeback route. Had to throw the ball with perfect trajectory. Had to throw it over and underneath the defender and drop it in. Watch this ball. 5-step drop, no hitch and throw over the corner and underneath the safety on the comeback route. That's a next level throw by Byrne.
That's tight coverage by Tinsley. Explorers get 13 on 3rd and 9. Trying to take advantage of a fumble by Apopka. Looked like the Blue Darters were going to go up 21-0. Sliding grab made just outside the 10. That's ruled a catch. David Pugh, just 8 receptions coming into tonight's game. He has been active in the first half.
Nice job. That's the 3rd time that Byrne sprinted out to his right. And a couple of those times the ball sailed. He got off his number 1 receiver, worked his 2nd receiver, and threw a nice, look at this accurately thrown ball to Pugh, right underneath basket. Excellent throw. Byrne's getting more comfortable, and that's key for Columbus in their offensive attack.
Byrne headed to Bryant University next year to play college football. On 2nd down and 1, he's trying to hit Rollins, who was caught up with Tinsley at around the 5-yard line.
Columbus tried to come with a slant swing, top of a look, slant flat, kind of a combination, and I think Byrne was hanging on his back foot, trying to get second window open on that slant, and really just threw that ball away. Good coverage by Apopka.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 1. Maybe quarterback draw here. And Byrne gonna throw it, pumps, and lofts it toward the end zone. Rollins is there, touchdown.
I love it, great play call by Merritt. They ran the slant swing combination on the previous play, Austin. Now come back with this old sluggo route, the slant and go. Pump fake the slant. Watch the pump fake on the slant. Now lay it out to your big 6'2" receiver, Rollins, and let him high point the ball. That's what Rollins can do, a mismatch in height. Touchdown, Columbus.
Extra point was blocked and does not make it over the crossbar. The Columbus gets 6, but the PAT no good.
May loom large later, Austin. Every point so important. And what a great job defensively by Columbus and getting the ball back on the turnover, stripping the football. They've done a good job of stripping the football from Apopka. Apopka's been able to get it back 2 of the 3 times, but again, turnovers really cost Apopka last year with 3 turnovers.
Tucker Byrne makes Apopka pay. Jerron Rollins with his 9th TD reception of the year, 14-6. In downtown Orlando, one of the busiest streets in Central Florida. Bright House Networks is offering TV everywhere with our latest app, BHTV. Bright House Networks customers are able to view live stream television from up to 20 channels outside the home, including Bay News 9, News 13, and Bright House Sports Network. The app is available for iPads, iPhones, Android devices, and Kindle Fire HDs. Apopka defense catching their breath after giving up the first Columbus touchdown of the game. Impressive drive by the Explorers after forcing a fumble when it looked like Apopka might go up 21-0. Tolgisi's kick fumbled by Massey at the 5, able to regather. He takes a pretty good shot as he crosses the 20, and a horde of defenders drive him to the ground.
Apopka having a tough time holding on to the football tonight, Austin. If they can just take care of the ball, they've really been potent with the single wing attack of just eating up yards.
We wondered how this Columbus defense would fare against this throwback offense. Just don't see anybody running this single wing attack. Direct snap to Cox. And a 4-yard gain out to the 24 as we check in with Tiffany.
Well, the Explorers defense will be shorthanded in the secondary. We saw Anthony Rosenfeld go down earlier in this quarter. He is on the sideline. He's been sitting down since he came over to the sideline. He tweaked a nerve in his lower back, and he will be out for the remainder of the game, and that's a huge blow as one of the senior starters out in the Columbus secondary.
Injured on special teams. Collision with Ray Smith. Unfortunate for Rosenfeld, senior, playing his last high school game. This is Massey following Martez Ivy. Knocked out of bounds at the 32. It is fun to watch Ivy lead the way for Massey. You got 6'5", 270, and about 5'1", 150.
You got the tallest guy on the team and the shortest guy on the team. Watch this. Oh, great camera view right here. Look at 77 Ivy, 6'6", and look at Massey, 5'2", just hiding behind him. Gotta love that, Austin.
Comes up to about Ivy's waist.
Yeah.
Ivy shifts from the left to the right. Cox runs that way. Well, he is spilled at the 34, got just 2.
Well, that line shift, if you don't shift appropriately, if you're off by a half step here in your alignment, you have an alignment issue, you can just get gassed by alignment. And that's what Rick Darlington's offense does occasionally with that shift.
Really challenged his offensive line this week. Felt like they were whipped up front a season ago by South Dade. A 41-28 loss. Ivy once again moving to right tackle. Massey. And another fumble. And the officials ruled that Apopka recovered. The Blue Darters continue to put the ball on the ground. Ruben Lewis, junior tackle, able to recover it.
God, Apopka's really dodging some bullets here. Their 4th fumble, got 3 of them back. It's Coach Delgado handles that offensive line played here. Championship, he's got one of the most important jobs on the field. The coordination of this offensive line, it all starts in the trenches with those guys. There's guys pulling left and right, all kind of stuff going on with that front. It all starts with Delgado's offensive line.
And Rick Darlington gives so much success for the development of this offense to that group. 3rd down and 6. And Rick Darlington spends a timeout.
Well, I think a good timeout. Again, I'm sure Coach Darlington's already said, guys, ball security, let's go. What are we doing?
Timeout for Apopka.
And again, a big 3rd down here. These are the type of 3rd downs that Apopka tries to stay out of. These 3rd of medium and long situations on their side of the field. It's really not 4-down territory.
I had the chance to ask Rick Darlington about his single wing offense, how he came up with it, and the way it's developed. He said everyone else was looking forward. I thought it might be cool to work backward. Going into the 2007 season, the team didn't have a quarterback. Someone suggested, why not the single wing? So he searched the internet, message boards, went to a clinic in the Northeast, brought home all kinds of film, YouTube footage from the 30s and 40s. They played Seabreeze in the kickoff classic, lost 42-0. So he abandoned that. They went back to their traditional flex bone. And then in week 5, said as he was walking out to practice, decided they were going to put it back in. They rushed for 420 yards that week against Edgewater, finished the season 12-2. It's continued to evolve ever since.
It really has. And they have the state scoring record in the season running this offense.
3rd down and 6. Birch finding Dakari Campbell, the blocking back in the open field. 3rd down conversion for Apopka with Campbell, his 5th catch of the year.
We've seen this year in, year out with Rick Darlington. He's always got a few tricks up his sleeve based off of this single wing attack. And it's just really tough to defend. And he faked the double handoff. Now you're out in the pass on the boot. Watch the fake the double handoff in the flat. High percentage throw for Birch. And Campbell with good ball security that time after putting the ball on the ground.
Darters have driven it in Columbus territory on all 4 of their possessions. Simmons going the wrong way. Gang tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. See, will they rule his forward progress stopped? Looks like they're going to mark him all the way back at the 41. That's a 10-yard loss. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the first half. With Pat O'Hara, Tiffany Green down on the sideline, I'm Austin Lyon, our entire Bright House Sports Network crew here for the final game of the 2014 high school football season. It's Columbus from Miami and Apopka, just 15 miles away from the Citrus Bowl. Blue Darters trying to win their 2nd state title in 3 seasons and 3rd overall. 2nd down and 20. And flag down before the snap.
Well, Chris Merritt's got to be happy with that first down play defensively. That was his key. We've got to be good on early downs, put Apopka in long yardage situations.
Prior to snap, we have a false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And penalties are just huge for Apopka on top of it. Tough for them when they're known passing type situations. They have a difficult time. They need to be front running and playing in front of the chains as an offense does Apopka. Now it's 2nd and 25. Positive situation for Columbus.
5th penalty against Apopka for 50 yards. Massey out of 1 tackle, leaping over a defender, and out of bounds at the 41. So clock stops with 2:18 remaining. Apopka with 3rd down and 20 or 21 coming up, and Rick Darlington will spend his final timeout.
Well, the last time he called timeout on 3rd down, he dialed up a real nice play, able to move the chains and an obvious pass situation. So kind of going deep into the call sheet here. Rick Darlington's got all kind of plays on there in these types of situations, should he get in them. But for Columbus, what a great job on this drive defensively, also aided by the penalty. What's hurt Apopka are penalties and turnovers in their losses that they've had. Penalties are drive killers. They really are drive killers for Apopka with their style of play, and obviously turnovers for any team. Those are the only 2 things that really have slowed down this high-scoring attack on the ground in this single-wing offense.
Apopka taking on a Columbus team that is here for the first time since 1982. 32 years in between championship game appearances. Runner-up in 80 and 82, trying to win their first ever state title.
Chandler Cox has split out the bottom here. Bottom right-out corner receiver.
Massey comes in motion. Cox going to end up with it, looking to throw. James Kreider out there, and it's intercepted at the 30. J.R. Garrigo, a fumble recovery on Apopka's last offensive possession, now an interception. Columbus with another turnover.
Well, you could see this coming. We pointed out, if you're a defensive player, hey, why is Chandler Cox down here wide receiver and never is? Well, it's because he's going to get the double reverse pass. A good job of playing good in the back end. You see 3 Columbus defenders, and Garrido's in break position to get the turnover. These are the types of situations, these long 3rd downs, is what Coach Merritt wanted to get this Apopka offense in.
Tucker Byrne back out on the field. He was impressive on the last drive. 5 of 7 for 52 yards and a touchdown. That one well over the head of Jerron Rollins.
And Tucker Burns had a couple balls sail on him. He kind of had pressure and a guy in his face that time. Maybe why the ball sailed on him, but again, Tucker Byrne really settled in, Austin, on that last possession, using his arm really well. It's really going to be up to him and his receivers and the offensive line protecting for him. They're going to have to pass the football to really have success. This Apopka front 7 against the rush is outstanding.
Byrne averages about 20 pass attempts per game. He's already at 15 here in the first half. Underneath completion to Rollins, tackled immediately at the 40. David Britzius, Ray Smith, both there.
Mirrored routes on both sides of the field. 2 receivers to each side. They run a hitch corner concept. And a good job by Byrne, just taking what the defense gives you. Take that hitch route, get some of that back, make it a more manageable 3rd down. Coach Merritt said we need to be really good at taking what the defense gives us.
Byrne down the middle into a tight window. Maloney hauls it in. Bascom closing quickly. Not much room to fit that one in.
Excellent throw by Byrne. Now a hurry-up situation with 1:24. They move those chains and they'll wind the clock. They've got to get on the ball and get going. Byrne threaded the needle to Maloney there. Nice throw and catch.
Well, a little bit of confusion as he looks toward the sideline. Head coach Chris Merritt, also the play caller. Britzius on a blitz, didn't get there. And Byrne found the open man. Fernandez with his 10th catch of the year. Clock continues to move. And now Columbus takes a timeout with 1:01 to play.
Well, that's a shame because Byrne had Fernandez wide open and really threw that ball low. There's a lot of green grass in front of Fernandez if he could have got an accurate ball. Coach Merritt's forced to use a timeout there. But with a minute left, in great position here to get out of this half potentially with a score and even up this game.
Coming up at the half, Preston Jackson, Mark Robinson will be with you. They'll give their thoughts on what they've seen in the opening 24 minutes. Also some recruiting talk about the top prospects in this game. You want to stay tuned for that. Columbus fell behind 14-0. Apopka was driving to potentially go ahead by 3 scores. That stout Explorers defense with a forced fumble, responded with a touchdown. Now after an interception, looking to potentially tie this game up. Similar playoff histories between the teams. Apopka with the 2 state titles. Columbus 0 for 2 in championship games. Byrne deep down the middle for Maloney. Some contact and a flag. Looked like Tinsley with a little bit of a grab as Maloney was looking for separation.
Maloney has good top end speed. He really gets going faster as he gets 10 yards down the field. And they try to hit Maloney on a post route, and Tinsley makes a little bit of contact there. The one thing that Tinsley did is he put his hands up like, I didn't do it. Sometimes when you do that, you're kind of admitting guilt. That could have easily been a no call, but it works out for Columbus.
Defensive pass interference against defense. It'll be a 1st down.
Really a tight call by the officials, but if you're Columbus, you're happy. If you're Rick Darlington, you're not.
There have been a couple calls that have gone Apopka's way so far. That one goes to Columbus. So from the 28, after the 3rd 15-yard penalty, there's Maloney turning it inside. And a 1st down to the Darters 13.
Now, Coach Merritt's going to have to use a timeout. Maloney tried to get some yards after the catch and go inside. Might have been more beneficial to get out of bounds and stop the clock, but a good timeout there by Coach Merritt. Really a great ball by Tucker Byrne. You can see the chemistry with Maloney and Byrne. Maloney wasn't even out of his break. This ball was out of Tucker Byrne's hand on the stop route. Watch this ball come out, throw and catch. Good velocity on the ball. As soon as he got out of his break, under Ray Smith, Maloney's in position to make that catch.
Talked a lot about Byrne in this 1st half. He's actually adopted some health problems right before the season. 2 weeks before the season started, he's diagnosed with myocarditis. That's an inflammation of the heart. Doctors thought he might need a transplant, but now healthy and the all-time leading passer at Columbus.
Yeah, and Coach Merritt said as a freshman in the state of Colorado, he broke all the Colorado passing records, and then he moved to Miami. He's kind of baptized to a different level of talent, but he's adapted to it really, really well. And great situation now for Columbus with 45 seconds here and 4 downs to get the ball in the end zone.
One timeout for the Explorers. From the 13, Apopka brings pressure. Byrne to the end zone. What a catch by Maloney for a touchdown! And now they rule it incomplete. The first official signaled touchdown. Another one came in and waved it off. We'll get another look. Regardless, a tremendous effort.
Well, Maloney's the player.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Try to throw the fade route to Maloney. Throws it back shoulder. Maloney slips. It's a great call by the official, but almost an unbelievable catch. Ball did touch the ground. They tried back shoulder. If Maloney doesn't slip, Austin, this is a touchdown. But that ball did touch the ground.
Boy, what an adjustment as he was going to the ground to find the football and nearly haul that in.
Well, and Tucker Byrne did a good job of trying to go back shoulder on the fade route because it was tight coverage and Maloney just fell down.
This has been the formation of choice for Columbus. Empty backfield. Byrne steps up with pressure and he'll be sacked at the 16. And Columbus takes its final timeout with 29 seconds.
Yeah, Tucker Byrne. Gotta know this situation as a quarterback. It's second down. You got to throw this football away. You only have one timeout left. You need it. Throw the football away. Live to fight another day. Tucker Byrne. Now you've lost yards on the sack. And not throwing the ball away makes you use your last timeout.
For the first time ever, high school football state champions will compete against each other in a postseason bowl game. Teams from Florida, Utah, and Washington will go at it in a one-day, three-game event at Florida Atlantic University on Saturday, December 27th. The games will be televised nationally on ESPNU at noon, 4, and 8 p.m. For more information, log on to BurgerKingBowl.com.
Well, huge third down here, made more difficult by taking a sack and losing yards here. Lost 3 yards on that sack and your last time out, so you've got to be prepared here. Austin, this ball's thrown in bounds and completed. You've got to hustle your field goal team out here, or you have to have another play called with 29 seconds left.
Few motions to the top of the screen. Byrne, pressure off the edge, gets rid of it along the sideline and incomplete for Maloney.
Try to throw that fade, stop, comeback type look route, timing route. Good coverage by Apopka. One thing it did do by being incomplete to stop the clock, now they can at least get a field goal attempt.
Joey Tolgisi, 9 of 14 on the season. Made a 27-yard field goal a week ago against Flanagan. This one will be from 33. Out of the hold of Andres Fernandez, the lefty Tolgisi, just inside the left upright. Columbus with 9 second quarter points off 2 Apopka turnovers. And they're back in it at 14-9.
Well, Tucker Byrne, quarterback for Columbus, really starting to get more comfortable with his arm. And we talked about, hey, they're going to have to win this game with Tucker Byrne. Already way more attempts in this game than he normally has per game. And that's because of Apopka's ability to stop the run. Tucker Byrne's got to have a huge night. Thus, so far, so good, 14-9. It could be a lot worse. Columbus defense done a great job of forcing fumbles and turnovers.
It's been all about defense as you look at their run to the championship game. Shutouts against North Miami Beach and Coral Gables. That's a district rival. And then unbeaten teams Killian and Flanagan go down in consecutive weeks. In the last 7 games, Columbus has given up just a total of 28 points. And 14 in the first half tonight.
That's outstanding, and especially in the area they play in down in Miami.
Tolgisi's kick, fielded by Massey at the 2. Massey picks his way to the outside, looking to provide a spark on the final seconds of the second quarter. He's at the 41 of Columbus with 6 seconds remaining. Perhaps time for one trick play from the offensive mastermind, Rick Darlington.
I was just about to say, in Coach Darlington's head, he said, all right, if I get a great return here, I've got to play dialed up that I want to run. I'm not just going to take a knee, and it'll be interesting to see what he has for this type of situation with 6 seconds left in the half.
52-yard return by Massey. James Kreider is a threat down the field. He is split out wide to the top of your screen. Birch going to hand it off to Massey. And as the first half clock expires, Massey King tackled at the 39. Apopka will head to the locker room with the lead, but just a 5-point margin for Rick Darlington's team. It was 14-0, and now 14-9 as the first half comes to a close. Tiffany Green down on the field with Apopka's head coach.
Coach, turnovers and penalties kept Columbus in this game in the first half. What do you have to do to make adjustments to make sure you take care of the football?
Not have turnovers and penalties. We had a turnover, and then we had a penalty backed us up. We hit a post route. We fumbled it. We had a negative play on a first down. If we eliminate the negative plays, the penalties, and the turnovers, we keep moving the ball. That's what we do. We can't come back and go 2nd and 20. That's not our game. So, again, we should be up probably 21-0, and we haven't taken care of our business. We definitely have to play better in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Halftime in the 8A championship game. Apopka trying to win its 3rd championship in program history. A 14-9 advantage on Columbus. Stay with us, Preston Jackson.
Beautiful crowd, Apopka filling the stadium here. The newly renovated Orlando Citrus Bowl, it looks great. Preston Jackson, Mark Robinson, we've got your halftime show. A lot of notes. This first segment, Mark, let's talk about what Columbus has done and what Apopka's done. Columbus came into this game very balanced offensively, over 2,000 yards rushing and passing, and they're doing fairly well throwing the ball right now. Quarterback Tucker Byrne is right now 13 completions, 13 out of 22, 120 yards, and 1 TD. What do you like about him?
I like his confidence. The camera panned over to the sideline after Tucker Byrne threw the first touchdown. You could just see he was like, I got game. I'm ready. And it was so poised and composed in there. He made me a believer. I'm sitting here watching this kid, how he's playing. Well, what they've done is they've come out and really they've gotten into the rhythm here. They've started to throw some of the stop routes outside. They've protected him, though. When Tucker Byrne gets protection, he's got good vision. He's got good accuracy with the football. He dropped that one in, the one that was fumbled in the end zone. That was a perfect pass and should have been caught in that situation. He's that type of quarterback. He can bring him back in these situations.
Do you think he can win the ball game with his arm, with his passing game?
Oh, most definitely can. But what happens is you got to slow him down on defense. You got to shut Apopka down so you are able to get back in this football game. And they're right there. And I think they have enough offensive weaponry to get back in this football game.
Apopka came into this game of the 8 state championship teams. They were the top rushing attack, but they also gave up the most points. They were giving up 24 points a game on the season. Now, a strong rushing game, 124 yards thus far in the game, and that's led by the young running back Massey with 10 carries, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What about this Apopka rushing game do you like?
I love it. I mean, when they get the edge, these guys get out and they bring everybody to the left, everybody to the right. They'll run and get off the edge. And when you see that Columbus hasn't been able to set the edge, and when you look at it, it's the team that's going to win is probably who's ever. If Columbus can set the edge, they're going to have a good shot at winning. If Apopka gets the edge, they're going to win because of their dominant run game. And I tell you, this misdirection and this toss in here, and Massey, I tell you, that little kid there, you can't see him. He's so short in the backfield. He's behind all the blockers. You can't really see him before he's on you, then he makes the big play.
Coach Darlington keeps him an undersized back, a couple of undersized back in that stable of running backs for his offense. They make things happen. Now, with Apopka in that misdirection offense, they run that single wing or that broken wing, whatever you like to call that offense. When Columbus did set the edge, they kind of slowed that offense down, didn't they?
They really did, and it's so evident to me because when you watch it, if you're trying to stop a running attack like this, you want to have the penetration first. You've got to set the edges. Those are the 2 ways you're going to stop the running And we've seen it over the past few weekends here, Preston, is that the team that's able to set the edge is the team that's able to stop the run. And I think right now, once you stop the run and you force the runner inside, there's so many of your defenders in there, they can't maneuver enough to get the yards they'd like to get.
We see a lot of these rushing attacks have been led by this pulling guard, pulling tackle, Martez Ivey. When we return from break, we're going to talk a lot about Martez Ivey, some Chandler Cox, some other of these big-time prospects on the field. Don't go away. We're just getting started with halftime. Preston Jackson, I'm back with Mark Robinson. We're handling this halftime business just like the teams are handling business on the field. Martez Ivey, depending on who you ask, he's probably the #1 prospect in the nation. I bet the majority of the people would say that he is the #1 prospect in the nation. An Army All-American, being recruited by everybody and their mother, all right? A lot of people thinking he's leaning towards Florida. A lot of people giving him credit towards Auburn. I'm a Gator fan. I like to see him in orange or blue. However, the young man's going to go where he wants because he's doing what he does on the field. Tell me what you see in Martez.
Well, first of all, the frame. He's 6'6", 270. Second of all, he's strong. He pins people. He penetrates. He pushes people back, out-muscles them. Third, it's the feet. The kid's got great feet. He can pull, he can get around the edge, he can get out into space, he can make plays. Let's just say, this kid's a stud. That's all you can say. This kid's a stud. He's a no-brainer. You know, this kid is going to go and he's going to succeed wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, man, I bet his mom's refrigerator doesn't stay full for long. That Winn-Dixie bill or that Publix bill is crazy long. His teammate of his and another Army All-American is Chandler Cox. Chandler Cox has played a number of positions for Apopka. H-back, quarterback, tailback, tight end. Committed right now to Auburn, likely to play a tight end position for Malzahn with the War Eagles. What do you like about Cox?
Well, he's Tim Tebow-esque. I just hate to say it, put him in a clause like that, but really, he's able to do things. He can run the football, he can throw the football. This play where he lowers the boom right here, oh my goodness, Preston. Oh, that's
next snap back.
That's career deciding. You know, that'll change somebody's career when you run somebody over like that. But really, he's got the stiff arm. He can get out in the field. He can make people miss in space. A big guy like that, and you like his ability to do that. He's a smart player, and I tell you, he's one of the big players, and obviously that's why he's had such success this year.
Columbus has their own stud. FIU commit 6'1", 180 pounds, Austin Maloney. What we really saw about Maloney, him and Burns started to get a little chemistry towards the second quarter. They started flinging that ball around, and he was definitely the primary target for his quarterback. What about the FIU commit do you like?
Well, really, this kid, you know, he's able to, when he gets in space, he's a precise route runner.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed when he started out there. He runs, he can break off routes. When he puts his foot in the sand, he'll come out of it quick. Obviously, he caught the high ball there. He can get up and get there. Confidence. When you're a receiver like that, you've got that chemistry with your quarterback, the confidence level really exudes out on the field.
Deshaun Massey, the leading rusher right now for Apopka, is doing a lot on the ground. Maybe not the biggest kid, may not be the best prospect, but he's highly productive.
Hey, I put him on my football team. You get a kid like that run. Looks like Darren Sproles or, those type of runners. And because of his size, and, you have to use that as advantage, he hides behind the blocking. And when you hide behind the blocking like that, you can make additional yards. And he's a fun player to watch.
And we wanted to make sure we hit on one more young man, Peter Delatorre, Columbus, 2015 defense end, 6 foot, 225 pounds. You and I were talking upstairs about which guys were more disruptors for Columbus, and we really like that young man. Now, on the graphic, what you see right now is our camp schedule, Big County Preps. You can visit bigcountypreps.com. We're in a number of showcases, combine, teams event through the spring and summertime. So make sure you visit the website, get your team signed up, get your young man signed up for our next camp throughout this spring and summer. Now, when we return from break, we're going to talk about halftime adjustments. Teams are in the locker room. They got some things to do. It is a close ball game, 14-9. Columbus the underdog, Apopka the big dog. But we got some more to talk about. We'll be back. Preston Jackson, Mark Robinson. Mark, teams in the locker room. Columbus is down by 5 right now. What's got to happen for them to win this game?
Well, you know, you start sitting out here and saying Columbus is really starting to find the game in the passing attack. They're starting to really get some rhythm going on. You got to protect Tucker Byrne. I mean, if you protect him, this kid's seeing the field, he's making the throws and making it real uncomfortable for the Apopka fans right now.
They've created 2 turnovers. Haven't really capitalized on them. Is that going to be a key for them?
Oh, yeah, the turnovers are evident. When you get the turnovers, if you're able to take the turnovers and create them into points, and that's going to be huge for them because, you know, you're trailing the situation. You've got a team that can dominate the game with the running attack, but to get the turnovers, but then turn around, protect your quarterback, and let him zing it because this kid can throw it downfield.
Now, we may not get Pacquiao, okay, and Mayweather, but we've got an 8A state championship big-time fight right now. And what's going to happen is the Apopka's going to come out in this second half, and they're going to try and punch Columbus in the mouth. They're going to try and reestablish his run. How are they going to get that done?
Well, I promise not to punch you in the face here, Preston, but we're looking at it, and it's true. If they're going to, with the run, and again, if they to start reading and said, when we went outside and they didn't set the edge, that's where we gained most of our yards. And then they have to go back to it until it is stopped by Columbus. And I think that's the key when they do it. And they started kind of a little funny, going inside a little bit. It's not broke, don't fix it. Get around the edge, make them defense the outside of the game and make the play. You see right here, now take this. No one sets the edge right there. You see the defensive back got kicked out there. That's a big play. Those are gash plays. Those are turnaround plays that can turn the game around totally.
Our keys to the game before we started was Columbus, read your keys, Apopka air traffic control. Have both teams gotten that done, Mark?
Well, you know, about the read your keys, and early on, no. Okay. You know, you saw that Columbus was really struggling, trying to read their keys. They were really looking in the backfield too much. Later in the game, they started doing some things, getting some turnovers, did a little bit better there, you know, but you come back and you look at Apopka and say, you know, what are they doing? Are they doing the, you know, air traffic control? Early on, they had them directing it right. Later on, it was like, hey, you, it's your, and when that happens, then you get confusion out there. There's going to be balls all over the sky tonight.
Interesting note, of Apopka's 2 state championship wins, they did not turn the ball over in either one of those wins. In their losses, they turned the ball over. So that's an interesting note. They have 2 turnovers tonight. Could they break that streak and win this game with the turnovers? We'll just have to find out. When we return from break, we're going back upstairs. We got a little bit more to talk about upstairs with Austin Lyon and Pat O'Hare, and then we'll have the second half kickoff.
Apopka with a huge defensive stand on the first series of the game. Columbus goes for it on 4th and half a yard. Tucker Byrne stuffed, and Apopka's offense responds with an impressive opening drive. Deshaun Massey finishes it off.
Yeah, and Deshaun Massey on these underneath handoffs, able to sneak in, all 5'2" of them. And the double reverse here, Deshaun Massey with Chandler Cox leading the way. A great block out in front, Austin, and leaping in was Massey.
Looked like Apopka was going to have a chance to go up 21-0. Chandler Cox with a long completion to J.J. Simmons. But the Columbus defense, so good throughout the season, especially in the second half of the season with a turnover. Tucker Byrne finding Jerron Rollins for an 11-yard touchdown.
Yeah, great job in that slant and go. Rollins, 6'2", a height disadvantage there for Apopka, and then forcing the ball on these long 3rd downs and making Apopka throw has been tough for them.
J.R. Garrigo with the interception. That led to a 33-yard field goal from Joey Tolgisi. So Apopka scores the first 14, Columbus the last 9. 5-point lead for the Blue Darters at halftime. Columbus, a run-first offense all year. Haven't seen it in the first half.
Yeah, Chris Merritt said, we're a run-first team. You can tell the plan right away off the bat. They don't feel like they can line up in the eye and just be effective rushing the football. They've had to throw it. Tucker Byrne again is going to have to do that in the second half for Columbus.
184 total yards for Apopka, but those 2 turnovers loom large.
They really do, and not only the 2 turnovers, but Apopka's been putting the ball on the ground. They've recovered 3 of their own fumbles. I'm sure that's a key for Rick Darlington talking to his team at halftime.
How about defensively? Adjustments from Apopka's secondary sure seemed like Tucker Byrne started to settle in as that half went on.
I thought Byrne got a lot more comfortable, Austin, as the game went on, but it's hard to win a game if you have to throw the ball every down. But listen, Rick Darlington is he coaches 2 halves. He always has a plan coming out in the second half. It'll be interesting offensively what Apopka does and what adjustments they made in the secondary to stop Byrne.
In this case, it doesn't seem like they necessarily need to make adjustments. Just secure the football. 2 hands around it it all the time.
Yeah, when Tiffany talked to Rick Darlington after the half, he said, we got to take care of the penalties and hold on to the darn football is exactly what he said. And he's right. These penalties in a rushing offense can be drive killers. They've got to make those corrections.
Look at the state champions so far in the 7 classifications to this point, and it's been dominated by South Florida, 4A through 7A. Booker T. Washington, American Heritage, Miami Central, and St. Thomas Aquinas. Columbus trying to complete what would be a sweep in the second weekend of the state finals.
Yeah, you always see a lot of Miami-type teams, and now we've got Tiffany down on the field. We'll go to Tiffany Green.
Thanks, guys. Well, Coach, you have to be pleased with the way that your team has been able to create fumbles, but how do you take advantage of those opportunities and fall on more of them?
Well, we gotta continue to create them. You know, that's something that we've lived on all playoffs by creating turnovers and capitalizing on them. You know, we had a couple close calls. You know, maybe we should have tied the ball game. Didn't get it done. Got 24 minutes left to go in the season. Got to get it done now.
Tucker's been able to settle into the pocket well, but your team is predicated on the run. -7 yards. How do you get that side of the ball going?
We're going to take what they give us, and right now they're giving us the pass, so that's what we're going to take.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys.
Tucker Bird coming in, 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. We mentioned that he averages about 20 pass attempts per game, already at that number through the first half.
Well, yeah, 2 in the first half alone, and Coach Merritt, it's exactly what he meant. Hey, we're going to take what the defense gives us. He feels like there are some holes and some areas in that secondary to have success, and so far so good. When Burns started settling down, he started finding Maloney and actually completed balls to 6 different receivers and spread the wealth around. These halftime adjustments will be key for both coaches and how they come out in this second half.
The all-time leading passer for the Explorers, hoping to lead Columbus to their first ever state championship, and for Apopka trying to tie the record for Central Florida state championships with 3. That would match the number of Cocoa. Tigers won 3 in a row from 2008 to 2010.
Yeah, Rick Darlington, he's really, in the games that we broadcasted, Austin, he's really kind of had 2 game plans offensively. He always comes out in the second half with a couple different wrinkles that he didn't show in the first half. And now with Apopka getting the ball to open it, be interesting to see what he's got dialed up.
Community has really rallied around this Apopka football team. Rick Darlington said there's more support this year through their playoff run because it was unexpected from the community. 4 regular season losses, and the Blue Darters trying to become the first ever large classification team to win a title with 4 losses. Opening second half kickoff into the arms of Ray Smith, who moves the pile out to the 37-yard line. So decent starting field position for the Blue Darters. Apopka scored on their first 2 offensive possessions in the first half and got nothing after that.
I got a feeling we'll see a little bit more of Chandler Cox rushing the football. No one plays better on bigger stages for Apopka than Chandler Cox.
Auburn commit carried it 7 times in the first half for 31 yards. And he starts the third quarter with a run up the middle out to the 42.
Well, there you go, right off the bat. That's a play we've seen earlier in the year, that pirouette spin move with a lot of misdirection in the backfield, and Chandler Cox keeping it. It's the first time they've run that play. You see them open up the second half with that play, and we got a Columbus player down on the field.
Explorers already down a starter, Anthony Rosenfeld, the free safety that hurt on special teams in the first half, and he will not return.
That's their inside linebacker, Mike Sierra, right on the opening play. That's not good. Watch number 8 right there. Just take on Chandler Cox. He gets up and then goes down. You know, he led with his left shoulder on Chandler Cox, and what a collision. I mean, Chandler Cox, when he rushes the football, he is a load. You saw him run over the other inside linebacker, Handy, in the first half, but wow, that shoulder took a lot of abuse on that play, and he knew it right off the bat.
Sierra will head for the sideline. Talking to John Peary earlier this season. He works for the Apopka Chief local paper that covers the team, and he's been around this program for a long time. He thinks Chandler Cox might be the best all-around player in school history. When you think about some of the names that this program has produced, that's a strong statement.
Huge statement.
It's like Warren Sapp, Brandon Merriweather played for Apopka. Deshaun Massey got to the 45 to set up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, in our top 25, Central Florida best players ever, right, Austin? That's 2 of them you just named right there, Merriweather and Sapp. Obviously, Sapp's in the Hall of Fame. Merriweather still playing in the National Football League.
Important play here. First minute of the second half. Apopka facing 3rd down and 3. And a flag comes in. Saw the nose guard from Columbus move his head into the neutral zone.
That's going to be a first down. They just gave him a free first down on 3rd down.
To the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Marty Polenic leading our West Coast Officials Association crew out of Tampa.
You just can't give Apopka free first downs on penalties. You know they're going to snap down in that 3-point stance every play. You can't jump off sides and react to it that way.
There's that wholesale shift we saw about a half dozen times in the first half. Dimitri Birch trying to get out wide, able to get away from a couple defenders, but outstanding pursuit.
Much better job by Columbus, Austin, of setting the edge and stringing this play out and allowing other defenders to get to the point of attack you take on with your inside shoulder, not your outside. Now you string it out and let all your partners come rally to the football. Better job defensively by Columbus.
Stephen Cuellar on the tackle. Columbus going deep onto the bench now. Cuellar not listed on the Explorers too deep. On 2nd down and 11, Cox stumbles to midfield. And the Columbus front holding up a little bit better than it did in the first half.
Well, they've been going against their scout team all week, trying to simulate this single wing offense. We watched them pre-game hold up cards and run the plays. They didn't even snap the ball. They had the ball carrier in the shotgun holding the ball so they could mimic the speed of Apopka. Now that they've had a half to watch it, defending it better is Columbus.
3rd down and 10. An encroachment call gave Apopka a first down on 3rd and 3. Birch fakes to Massey, going to run it himself. Huge hole for Birch, cuts it to the outside, and he'll be taken down at the 21-yard line. Looked like a design pass play, but Birch saw space and ran for a gain of 29.
Yeah, not only that, but now their other linebackers down handy, but it's a good job. This is a pass all the way, but when you're as athletic at Birch, it's always a run option as well. And Birch now out in space, who's over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, is able to get the first down and chunk yards. And now Handy leaves the field for Columbus, who's the other inside linebacker. But good news for Columbus that Mike Sierra left the game with that apparent shoulder injury at inside linebacker. He's back on the field.
Back-to-back 3rd down conversions. Cox. It looked like he might slip through there and have a clear path to the end zone. Pick up of 3, and Apopka inside the Explorers 20.
So many weapons on this Apopka offense. A lot of them obviously rush with the football, but you've got weapons on your front offensive line. Martez Ivy, who's now, if you look, now he's playing right tackle. Played a lot of left tackle earlier in the game.
Unbalanced line for Apopka. They run away from it. Massey lowers his shoulder, driving a Columbus defender into the ground and out of bounds at the 13. That was Zach Vandemark, senior cornerback, who took the brunt of that collision.
Well, when you're 5'2", you play with leverage and low center of gravity, and Vandermark tries to bring it with that low center of gravity. Got to bring more to Massey. Don't be fooled by the size. He's a very strong runner.
Another third down. Apopka needs 2. They'll go with Cox. He excels in short yardage, spinning his way and driving down to the 5. First and goal.
Boy, Auburn's just getting the gem of a football player in Chandler Cox. With his versatility, it'll be interesting to see how he fits in Gus Malzahn's offense there. He's just so strong. Just pad level, and then yards after contact, and the strength, the leg power, drive. He's hard to bring down now. You got to get a lot of bodies on him to get him down on the ground.
How about the downfield blocking of Massey? Multiple times tonight, you've seen him just driving defenders back. From the 5, Cox with a spin, and down close to the goal line. They'll rule him down inside the 1.
Well, Apopka's got a nice drive going, and really the biggest play of the drive was that 3rd and long situation, which is what you want if you're Columbus defensively, and Birch was able to get those yards. Watch these tough yards in here by Chandler Cox. Just down there around the 1-yard line. Good call by the official.
Tenth play of the drive for Apopka. Cox once again denied.
Excellent goal line defense by Columbus. Another player down on the defensive side of the ball. Looks like, is that Brady?
3rd player on this drive. It's Trajan Bandy.
It's Bandy.
Just a sophomore, a lockdown corner for this defense.
Yeah, he just gave up his body and flew in there with his shoulder. He's gonna have to come out for a play. Physical football with this single wing attack of Apopka.
Ball just inside the 1 for 3rd and goal. The official falls down, and the play breaks down. Lots of movement from the right side of the Apopka offensive line.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, there was a lot going on, Austin. The official fell down. That kind of brought my attention to the official falling down. Watch the official try to leave. He trips over defensive lineman, and I think a lot of people got distracted, but it went against Apopka for a false start.
I figure the officials would stop play if one goes down. Obviously, he's out of position. You don't want anything to happen to him right there inside the goal line, but the penalty goes against Apopka. Play clock is at 3, down to 1. They just get the snap off. It's Deshaun Massey, and he's down close to the 1.
4th down now. Columbus did a great job with the ball on the 1-yard line 2 plays previously in stopping Apopka. There's no question what Apopka's going to do down here. And here comes Birch in with the play. You got to imagine number 11, Chandler Cox, going to carry this football, Austin.
12th play of the drive for Apopka. And you figure they'd run behind Ivy. Heavy to the left. 4th and goal, it's Cox leaping into the end zone.
Ball came out.
And they rule him in, touchdown. A mad scramble for that football, but the officials rule that he broke the plane prior to losing control.
How about the explosion and leaping ability? Watch Chandler Cox launch himself. Wow, that ball came out. You wonder about if he had another angle of it, if it crossed the plane. Obviously, if it crossed the plane, no problem, but doesn't matter. It's a touchdown, and with a great drive. See another angle here. Looks like he may have crossed the plane, Austin.
I think he's in,
yeah.
But really hard to tell without a look straight down the line. Looks like Apopka is going to go for 2. They've got the offense out there. Would make it a 13-point lead.
Head Coach Darlington wanted that ball on the hash mark. Ball's being moved over to the left hash.
Ivy now on the right side of the offensive line. Direct snap to Birch. Gonna throw it, and it's caught by Massey. That looked like it was intended for Kreider, but it's Massey that comes up with it in the back of the end zone.
It's a great throw by Birch. Here's another look at the play of the initial touchdown. But watch the full sprint out. You got to throw the ball to 5'2". You got to be accurate. Look at that accurate ball right at the kneecaps of Deshaun Massey. Who would have thought he'd be the primary receiver, Austin?
And Massey, fortunate. Kreider reaching back could have easily made contact with that football. Went right through his hands and into the waiting arms of Massey. Darters take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and go 62 yards in 12 plays. 3 third-down conversions. The touchdown came on 4th and goal from the 1.
Impressive opening drive, and boy, did it take a lot of time off the clock, Austin. Nearly half the quarter. That's what Apopka will do to you. They're clock killers.
Blue Darters eat up more than 6 minutes with that opening possession. A screen to Simmons. Broke one tackle. Simmons tiptoes along the far sideline and is into the end zone for an Apopka touchdown. Cox from the end zone down the middle. A hook and ladder. J.J. Simmons. Ball is loose. It's picked up by Tyree Brady. He'll go into the end zone. South Dade from underdog to state champion. The Buccaneers have their first title in program history. That was last year. South Dade beating Apopka, ending the Blue Darters' hopes for back-to-back state titles. It was a phenomenal performance from a team that was on this stage for the first time ever. Now it's Columbus trying to win its first ever state title. Explorers in a 13-point hole. Joshua Jobe on the return for Columbus. Out to the 28-yard line. Well, we heard Chris Merritt tell Tiffany at halftime that our offensive philosophy is to take what the defense gives us. This has been a run-first team all year. They average nearly 160 yards per game on the ground, -7 rushing yards in that first half.
It's been difficult, you know, and they really have 2 yards from the running back position, but lost yards from the sacks that Byrne had. And again, Byrne's got to have a great half with his arm, because lining up in the eye and running into the teeth of this defense is too difficult.
13 of 22 in the first half for the Columbus senior quarterback. Empty set. Here's a screen to Rollins. Picked up a couple blocks and tripped up near the first down at the 38.
Little slip screen to Rollins, all 6'2" of them. He covers a lot of ground when he runs. Kind of got up a little bit gimpy there. There's a lot of guys going down with injuries from Columbus.
Rollins clearly not at 100% as he goes out wide. He's to the top of your screen. That play did result in a first down. Here's Ivan Smith. Billy Coggle with a tackle for loss.
Well, Ivan Smith, haven't called his name much because they haven't rushed the football, but he's been a tremendous workhorse type back. But Coggle, he's an excellent inside linebacker. Again, a coach's son. Real heady, smart player. Very, very physical football player. There's his dad, Coach Coggle right there. Used to be the head coach at Lyman, Austin.
Now coaches defensive backs on Rick Darlington's staff. It really is a great group of assistant coaches that Rick Darlington has surrounded himself with. Byrne. Incomplete, and a shot delivered by Coggle, and a flag comes in from the back judge. David Pugh stretching out to try and make that catch. Absorbed a big blow from the middle linebacker.
Just from the naked eye, I think that's a very good call. There's nothing malicious about Coggle's hit. but it did work out as a target.
A personal foul, illegal helmet contact against the defense.
I think it's a good call here. You throw the pew here over the middle, and you got helmet contact. That's a foul. And that's a foul in today's football. Coggle's just in position trying to play football, and good physical play by him. But in today's football, that is a foul. See, helmet to helmet. It just is what it is. So first down for Columbus.
That's the fourth 15-yard penalty tonight against Apopka. Explorers snap it in Blue Darters territory. Byrne moving to his right, throwing across the middle, and a catch made. Nick Hernandez. A dangerous throw by Byrne, but Hernandez was there.
Good job by Hernandez. Really, Coggle grabbed a hold of Hernandez. He gets away from him, makes a great play. Byrne slides to his left and throws across his body. It can be a dangerous throw, but good arm talent by Tucker Byrne. A good job by Hernandez. Columbus on the move.
Explorers trying to answer the Apopka touchdown from the first possession of the third quarter. Empty backfield, Byrne, quick throw. And another catch made out on the perimeter. It's Daniel Courtney, his first catch of the night, and the 7th receiver that Byrne has completed a pass to.
Almost like a running play for Columbus at this point. Catch and throw from the shotgun. High percentage throw. Gets you in a good high percentage second down situation as you enter the high red zone of the Apopka.
Hernandez is the deep back. He splits out wide. A little Statue of Liberty play. Hand off. And Apopka was ready for it. Chris Henderson, sophomore running back with no room. Bascom came up from his safety spot.
Kind of sensed that something was up. That was a unique formation by alignment that Columbus ended up in. And good job by Apopka staying home. Little Statue of Liberty concept play. Saw a couple years ago from Apopka running that state championship with some success as well.
Wholesale changes in the formation for Columbus. They have no chance of getting this playoff. Chris Merritt's going to have to take a timeout. Play clock at 5 as they break the huddle.
Timeout. Columbus.
A lot of support from the Central Florida community for Apopka. Fellow Orange County coach Jim Buckridge down on the field, head coach at Timber Creek.
He's been the only coach Timber Creek's ever had. Opened that school. He's been the only football coach. As one of the top running backs in the country. I'm sure he's sad about him leaving, going to Florida State. Jacques Patrick. What a great career Jacques Patrick had. And I've coached against Buckridge. That's how old I am. Way back in the day.
Patrick recently named Gatorade Florida Player of the Year. How about the night so far for the Columbus senior quarterback Tucker Byrne?
I like Tucker Byrne. He's done a great job thus far. Started a little bit slow, but he got real comfortable. Watch the arm talent here on this comeback route. That's a next level throw. Bryant University is going to get a great gem in him. And the slant and go. Good technique on the pump fake and then throw it up and high point it to Rollins. Let him go up and get it. Good footwork sliding within the platform, throwing across your body and still accurately. I like what Byrne's done this half.
6'2", 225 pounds. When you watch him throw tonight, he's got the look of a Division I quarterback.
He certainly looks the part. There's no question about that. And it's really been on his shoulders tonight.
He's hit his last 3 passes. This is 3rd and 7. Byrne on target. And a first down throw. It'll be 1st and goal for Columbus. Andres Fernandez, running back, lined up in the slot and hauled it in for a gain of 21.
Tucker Byrne's found an area in the defense in the intermediate zones here that are open, and he's threading the needle. In the first half, he was throwing those deep comeback routes. Now they found something in the middle of the field. They're getting linebackers out in space and zones, and receivers are getting open. Apopka
brings pressure out of the backfield. Incomplete. Hernandez was the intended receiver. Just a little bit off target.
Tucker Byrne on a full sprint to his left, and really this is a throw he should make. He's capable of making. Didn't quite have his feet underneath him the way he wanted it to. He's fortunate that thing didn't get tipped up in the air and taken back for a touchdown.
Ray Smith needed that thing to hang up for an extra second, and he would have been going the other way for 6. Already 27 pass attempts tonight for Tucker Byrne. Fernandez on his right for 2nd and goal. Apopka once again with a blitz into the end zone, incomplete. Maloney looking for a flag. Tinsley was shadowing the FIU commit.
Tucker Byrne was locked in on Maloney the whole way. Really not on the same page. Kind of ran a post route, threw this ball way behind him. Really thrown way behind, kind of away, and really a good job. If you're throwing the ball away, it was tight coverage. Don't take a sack like you did in the first half. Throw the ball away, live to fight another day.
It's now 3rd and goal. There's a screen catch made by Maloney. Laquan Hicks had a hold of his legs and would not let go. That'll go for a loss of 3 back outside the 10. And a decision now for Chris Merritt.
There's a slip screen. Good isolation camera work on Maloney, and Hicks is in great position. He beats his block and gets around the ankles of Maloney and bring him down. Like you said, some discussion going on as to what to do here on 4th down, and looks like they're going for it.
Apopka defensive coordinator Jeff Rolson brought Osceola to the state championship game in 2007. His unit looking to get a stop on 4th and goal. Byrne to the end zone. Maloney brings it down. What a catch. Touchdown, Columbus.
FIU commit. Maloney makes a great catch here. It's a huge play on 4th down. Byrne puts it only place he can put it, high and outside. And Maloney's able to climb the ladder and high point this ball on 4th down. What a huge play by Maloney.
Just a slight bobble initially, and Maloney pulled it into his body. PAT from Tolgisi is good. Each team with a touchdown here in the 3rd. Back to a 6-point game, 22-16.
Wow, what a drive. And Tucker Byrne just showing the arm talent. Look at him climb the ladder, double clutch it, make the play. He had to throw this ball high and hard over the defender, the only place it could be, and Maloney goes and gets it.
Byrne 6 of 8 on that drive. Columbus, Miami-Dade County, a little less than 4 hours. An enrollment of 1,320, and the way the FHSAA enrollment works, Columbus is a private all-boys school. So that 1,320 number is essentially double because Columbus is an all-boys school. That's how they get into the 8A classification. You see the notable alumni include Brian Greasy, Alonzo Highsmith. Highsmith now in the Green Bay Packers front office said he would be at a sports bar in Buffalo watching the game tonight, supporting the Explorers from the Northeast. Dimitri Birch for the kickoff return. Apopka blocked it up well. Birch across midfield and down to the 44. Second time tonight the Blue Darters have come up with a long kickoff return. The first time it was Massey at the end of the half. Now it's Birch. 54-yard return as we send it down to Tiffany.
Well, guys, just observing that Columbus defense on the sideline, there was no one more excited about that touchdown than them. They were on the sideline and just totally gassed, looking like they were just out of game shape, so to speak. But once they got into the end zone, Alejandro Levy said, guys, you know what? No more excuses. This is our chance to make a stand. This is our last game of the season, and we need to play like it. Guys?
Sean Massey on a handoff from Cox. Trajan Bandy back out there. Sophomore corner was hurt on the last drive.
Well, 2 great returns, and Bandy's leaving the game. He's going down on the field. They're going to have to substitute him. They've had a number of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. But you wonder, the next kickoff situation, you wonder if they just sky kick it. They've given up some huge yards in special teams return game.
Mentioned Alonzo Highsmith watching the game. He was on that 1982 title team. Starting quarterback for that team, Mike Shula. Now on the staff with the Carolina Panthers. That game was played at Pensacola Woodham. Would have been about a 10.5-hour drive, and with some wealthy benefactors, they decide we're going to fly up there. Team flew up there the day of the game in 1982. That game was at Pensacola Woodham, played in freezing temperatures. It was below 30 degrees as Columbus went from one end of the state to the other.
You saw Brian Greasy graduated there. His dad, Bob Greasy, obviously the Hall of Famer. When Chris Merritt came in to interview for his job, sitting there at the table is Bob Greasy, making sure they got the right hire. And obviously Chris Merritt won Bob Greasy over.
Merritt told us there were 10 people there to conduct the interview, but Greasy was the only one asking questions.
Yeah, they both have Indiana roots, and so they had a lot to talk about. And boy, it's really been a success story bringing in Chris Merritt from Indiana.
Now in his 14th year with this Columbus program. Last minute of the 3rd quarter. Ivy shifts to the left side of the offensive line. Darters run that way with Birch. You see Columbus trying to get that football out. Be 3rd down and 2 or 3 upcoming for Apopka. Merritt played at Indiana for Bill Mallory. Said he catches himself doing a lot of the same things Mallory did. Coached at Eastern Illinois in Europe for 7 years. Kind of jokingly told his wife, hey, I applied for a job in Miami. I think he had much chance of getting it, and now 14 years later, here he is. Another 3rd down and short for Apopka. Birch hands to Massey. And it's going to depend on the spot. Looks like from the initial mark, Massey will have just enough.
Yeah, I think that's going to move the chains. Boy, Massey's a powerful guy, short of stature, but extremely powerful. Give it to him as a short yardage back. It says something.
Apopka, 5 of 8 on 3rd down. They'll have it inside the 35 to start the 4th quarter. Tucker Byrne keeping Columbus in it. Explorers trailing by 6 as we head to the 4th after falling behind 14-0. 1st and 10 for Apopka at the Columbus 33. A little twitch up front. That looked like Dion Ross, the left guard.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still 1st down.
That's what Columbus needs. And what Rick Darlington said at halftime, penalty. He said it throughout the year, Austin. Penalties are drive killers. The exact words. Obviously, this doesn't kill the drive. It's still 1st down, but it puts you in 1st and 15. And for Columbus, staying true, doing a good job on early downs is key to this game for them defensively.
12 minutes. 12 minutes on the clock, please.
Nine penalties against Rick Darlington's team. Second ran off the clock, so they reset it to 12 minutes. Chandler Cox got back to penalty yardage and 2 more, gain of 7.
Tough physical yards by Chandler Cox. I think you'll see more and more of Cox in this 4th quarter with his ability to pound the ball in there and take care of it. Apopka's put the ball on the ground a number of times, but it hasn't been Chandler Cox, so that's put it on the ground.
43 career touchdowns for Chandler Cox. 7 in this postseason. This is Deshaun Massey. Working his way down to the 25. He is nearing 100 yards rushing tonight. Another 3rd and short coming up for Apopka.
A single wing, it's just so hard to defend. I mean, the last thing you can do is peek in the backfield. If you peek in the backfield, you're going to lose Deshaun Massey. When he's running behind guys like Ivy and Cox, he's hard to find. And his power with that short of stature combination just fits perfectly in Apopka's offense.
On 3rd and short, it's Cox. Right into the center of the line. Blue Darters didn't get much of a push. It's going to be 4th down.
Well, there's no questioning what Rick Darlington will do here in this situation. And many times it's Chandler Cox in short yardage.
Apopka 2 for 2 on 4th down tonight. Last time it was 4th and goal. Cox over the top for a touchdown. There's that massive shift. Columbus does not get into the neutral zone. Cox off the right side will have the 1st down, dragging defenders inside the 15. It'll be 1st and goal for Apopka. What an effort by Cox.
A great effort by Cox and the whole Apopka offense of creating and helping Cox out with that extra push. It's plays like that we've seen all year, statement type runs where it's 4th and 1, but you get an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 yards because your whole team rallies in to help. These are statement type plays for Apopka and their whole program. Look at all those bodies.
In the first half, Columbus wanted to hold up the Apopka runner and try and strip it away. That's not going to work with Chandler Cox. On 1st and goal, Massey. Now over 100 yards, seeking the end zone. They'll rule him out short. Foot hit the chalk at the 2, and there's a penalty flag down.
That's going to be a hold right at the point of attack. Massey getting up a little slowly.
This has been a physical game.
Holding on the offense.
Well, watch here on the edge. See grab hold, and right there you got to let go cloth.
Looked like James Kreider.
Looked like Kreider just grabbed cloth a little too long. Once you disengage with the defender and your hand stays on the cloth, that's automatically going to be called by the official.
So Massey on the sideline. J.J. Simmons on the field along with Kreider. 1st and goal from the 19. This will be Cox. Late pitch to Dimitri Birch. I don't even know if he was expecting it. The play gets a 1-yard gain. I don't know if that falls under the risk-reward category. And 2nd down and goal.
A lot going on here. Watch the pirouette. Look at all the bodies going different directions. Broken tackle and still pitch it out to Birch. I wonder if Coach Darlington said, hey, Chandler, just hold on to that ball there. Let's not pitch it out there in the state championship here. Up by 8 points.
Massey still on the sideline. He's Apopka's leading rusher tonight. Under 9 minutes to go in the game. 2nd and goal from the 18. It's J.J. Simmons. And Columbus plays it perfectly. Simmons with a loss back to the 21. Trajan Bandy, who's been on and off the field in this 2nd half, made the tackle.
Well, a great job of containing on all this misdirection. You've got to contain. And Bandy does a good job of maintaining containment, allowing his teammates to come in and make the tackle on Simmons.
Patrick Elias also there. And Apopka calls a timeout. It's 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line. And now if you're Rick Darlington, is the focus on trying to get something here to make it an easier field goal attempt for LaRue? Because if you get 3, you go up by 9, that makes it a 2-possession game.
I think here 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line. He tried to dial up the best possible play you have, even if it is a run, and then make a decision on 4th down. You obviously want to get some of it back. Coach Darlington, a discussion right here. I think the best play he has, he'll run it right here and then make a decision after.
Darlington surpassed Chip Gerke earlier this season as the all-time win leader at Apopka. father of 7, including Ty Darlington, offensive lineman at Oklahoma, who graduated yesterday in 2.5 years. Had a great family. 3rd down and goal. And Deshaun Massey back out there. Chandler Cox, it's the old Tebow pass, looking for Kreider. He's got it for the touchdown.
Well, Apopka doesn't throw it much, but when they do, they're effective. And how about Chandler Cox with the throw here? Fake the run, put the ball up only where your guy can get it. And Kreider in great position, and Vandermark never saw the ball. Great job on the corner route. Wow, a huge play on 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line.
Just the 10th catch of the year for James Kreider. Apopka going to go for 2, but there's some confusion. They break the huddle with 5 seconds on the play clock. The ball is still not yet set, and now they get a reset to 25.
Yeah, Coach Darlington's going to argue that, you got to rewind the clock, push it back up so we can put on the hash mark we want it to. It's our choice if we're going for 2. So I think they'll push that play clock back up and allow Apopka. Now they want the ball in the middle.
That's a break for Apopka.
Yeah.
That ball was spotted in the middle. The official thought they wanted it on one hash or the other. They end up getting a fresh play clock. Otherwise, that would have been a delay of game, or Apopka would have had to take a timeout. This will make it a 14-point game. Apopka already has 1 2-point conversion tonight. Birch. Got it, untouched.
This single wing just really is a work of art. And watch the pass by Chandler Cox. Put it to only in an area where your guy can go get it. Kreider goes up and high points it. And then look at the bodies out in front. The coordination of the blocks. And this single wing is so hard to defend.
Apopka, a dominating performance in the state semifinals a week ago against Bradenton Manatee. The Hurricanes hadn't lost to a team from Florida when they rolled into Roger Williams Field for the state semifinals. Apopka rolled up more than 450 yards on the ground. 3 backs went for more than 100. Deshaun Massey, Chandler Cox, and Dimitri Birch.
Yeah, we covered Manatee against Dr. Phillips the week before. Dr. Phillips has a very good football team, and Manatee handled them, and boy, Apopka just ran all over Manatee. With this single wing, efficient offense.
45-14, the final score, part of a dominating postseason run. Ivan Smith from the 30. Those short kickoffs have not allowed any chance for Columbus to set up a good return.
Well, a 2-possession game here with 8 minutes. I mean, anything can happen. But again, Tucker Byrne, who's had to do it all night with his arm and kept his football team in the game, he's got to continue to do it here.
This is just the 4th possession of the second half between the two teams. The first 3 have resulted in touchdowns. Apopka with 2 TDs and 2 2-point conversions. Columbus scored with its only chance to have the football. Ivan Smith motions. Byrne wanted to come left. Now lets it go into double coverage. And incomplete. Apopka sideline wants a flag against Nick Hernandez, who turned into a defensive back, trying to make sure that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, Hernandez did a good job of making sure that ball wasn't intercepted, and he did it going for the ball. That's why there was no offensive pass interference. But what a dangerous throw by Tucker Byrne, throwing late back across your body. And it's a good job by Hernandez going for the football. It's not a foul because he's going for the football. He has a right to do that.
One of the few throws tonight from Byrne that was off target. Check this one down to Ivan Smith. He steps out of bounds at the 38. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And with Columbus trailing by 14, and given how efficient Apopka has been on offense, is it 4 downs the rest of the way for the Explorers?
It really could be, because, I mean, you talked about how many possessions this half, and there haven't been many. It's because Apopka's been chewing up the clock and killing it with these long drives, rushing the football and keeping the clock moving. So it could be. We'll see.
Byrne, quick throw. Nice grab by Hernandez. Up to the 48. Ball comes out. A flag is down as well. Apopka recovers the football, but is this play going to stand? I think a defender may have grabbed the face mask of Hernandez.
I think you're right, Austin. Austin Maloney's down there kind of signaling that he thought it's a face mask.
There's personal foul, face mask on the defense.
That's going to be tacked on 15 more from the end of the run. Here's another look.
Really accurate ball by Tucker Byrne, and Hernandez going down, gets that ball stripped. Looked like Bascom stripped it. Couldn't really see the face mask in there, but the official did.
Personal foul, face mask. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run prior to the fumble, be 1st down.
It looked like Bascom definitely made contact with the face mask of Hernandez. I'm not sure it was a 15-yard face mask. And another 15-yard penalty against Apopka. That's the 5th 15-yard penalty tonight against the Darters. Moves the ball to the Apopka 36. Clock rolling with 7.5 to go. Blue Darters bring pressure. Diving effort by Maloney, but it's incomplete.
Tucker Byrne's had success throwing that deep comeback route. This one, Maloney just couldn't come up with.
Only loss this season for Columbus came at the hands of Miami Central. It was their 4th game of the year, 42-14. In week 8, they went to Kentucky, ended a long home winning streak for Highlands High School, 38-34. Chris Merritt said that was a springboard. Going into tonight, defense had only given up 28 points in their past 7 games, 30 for the Blue Darters. Miscommunication there as Andres Fernandez turned around. The football was about 5 yards away.
Yeah, not on the same page. Is Byrne and Fernandez there. It looked like Tucker Byrne thought Fernandez was going to run a hitch and ran a little bit deeper. That's tough, because now 3rd and 10.
In the postseason, this Apopka defense has generated stops when the team has needed it most. And they certainly need one here. Blitz coming. Byrne deep down the middle and incomplete. And a flag is down.
Oh, that flag came in real late. Apopka gamble came with an all-out blitz. Tucker Byrne tried to get the ball out a little earlier than he wanted to. And yeah, that's going to go against Apopka.
Byrne took a pretty good shot at the end of that play.
It took a big shot. Looked like Coggle came off the edge free. And to Tucker Byrne's credit, stood in there, tried to make the throw, and took a heavyweight hit. Almost the type of hit you thought might draw a foul.
Defensive pass interference, 15-yard penalty. After the enforcement of 15 yards, it'll be a 1st down.
You can see off the right edge, linebacker coming free. And 2 hits, high-low hit on Byrne, and Couldn't really see the holding there, but the official was in good position to make that call.
Easy for fans to look at where the ball ended up and say the ball was nowhere near the receiver, but that's not a factor in high school football. Holding and pass interference can be called regardless of how far off target the ball is. So a fresh set of downs. Byrne throwing it up, and there's another penalty. Jarrell Tinsley grabbed Andres Fernandez, prohibiting him from going to get that football.
Columbus likes these back shoulder fades. Again, back shoulder fade in position. And Tinsley just getting in there and getting that arm wrapped around the hip. That's a good call.
That foul going to go against Jarrell Tinsley.
A lot of penalties for Apopka has affected this game and kept drives alive, particularly on this drive for Columbus.
Defensive pass interference. Be a 15-yard penalty, half the distance to a goal, which is enough distance for a first down.
We're at the Citrus Bowl, 8A championship game. Final contest of the 2014 high school football season with Pat O'Hara and Tiffany Green down on the sideline. I'm Austin and our entire Bright House Sports Network crew. First and goal from the 10. Byrne caught for a touchdown. Ivan Smith, just his 12th reception of the year. And Columbus, aided by 3 15-yard penalties against Apopka, goes down the field to get back within a score.
Well, Ivan Smith, he's been their running back throughout the year, but become a receiver in this situation. Great ball placement by Tucker Byrne. Apopka with an all-out blitz again. Gambles, Byrne beats the blitz with the throw, touchdown.
All-important PAT from Tolgisi. A really nice job by Andres Fernandez. That was a high snap, got it on the tee. And it's a 7-point game, 30-23 with 7:10 remaining. 4 drives in this second half. 4 touchdowns. Each team has scored twice.
And Tucker Byrne's throwing the ball every down, Austin. I mean, this is the run-first team throughout the whole season. Now here they're in state championship. Watch this throw under duress. Low and away to Ivan Smith. And a great throw and catch. Tucker Burns had to do it with his arm the whole night, Austin.
Right over the head of the official in the middle of the field. And then Smith scooping it off the turf. Teams playing in this newly renovated Citrus Bowl, part of a $200 million renovation as they try to improve this facility for bowl games. Orlando City Soccer is going to play here next year. They've already secured a kickoff classic. 2016, Ole Miss and Florida State are going to play in this facility, and they're hoping to be in the running for the college football playoff and the national championship game.
It's ready for it. I mean, it's beautiful. They've really done a great job, and it's just remarkable what it looks like now compared to what it did before.
Apopka's got 9 guys up. They were thinking maybe an onside kick was coming. Kickoff carries
he went in the end
Simmons
zone.
Into the end zone. I thought that ball was going to come out to the 20. Well, but the officials let him return it. So out to the 13 for Simmons.
That's interesting. I thought he caught the ball in the end zone. And Chandler Cox is having a conversation with the official. No. Once he trickles in.
Momentum carried him into the end zone.
There you go.
I've certainly seen that brought out to the 20 in the past.
I have.
So the pressure now shifts back on the Apopka offense. Columbus defense has been so good all season. More points allowed tonight than they have in their previous 7 games combined. Need to come up with a stop. Dimitri Birch with everybody running right. Back to the 17.
And again, the clock's the enemy for Columbus. This first drive of the game for Apopka in this half. Literally took half of the quarter. I'm sure that's what Rick Darlington's looking to do right now.
Apopka with more than 450 yards on the ground in each of their last 2 games. Up to 226 tonight. Massey cut down behind the line of scrimmage.
Great job defensively by Columbus. No gain on that play. 3rd down. It's a huge play right here, Austin, because this isn't a situation you want to go for it on 4th down being backed up. Critical 3rd down for Apopka. Critical 3rd down for Columbus defensively.
Blue Darters have excelled in these spots tonight. 6 of 10 on 3rd down, but it's typically been short yardage. This is 3rd and 6. Birch fakes to Massey. He wants to throw. No one there. He's going to be tackled out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 3 yards shy of a first. A huge defensive stand by Columbus.
Huge is right. You don't get too many 3 and outs against Apopka, especially tonight, and especially when you need it down 1 possession.
Alex Trujillo's group rises up at the midway point of the 4th quarter. This is the first punt of the night for Billy Coggle. Returner puts the ball on the ground, quickly covers it up at the 42. Near disaster from Austin Maloney. 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. We've reached the mandatory water break here in the 4th quarter. Teams continue to trade blows. Columbus back on offense, trailing by 7 when we return. SPNU at noon, 4 and 8 p.m. For more information, log on to BurgerKingBowl.com. Columbus trailing by 7, and with the football starting at the 42. Byrne under heavy pressure. Incomplete down the middle.
Apopka in the last couple of plays of the previous drive defensively, and continues now as they're bringing extra body on the blitz and trying to force Tucker Byrne into throwing some side adjustment reads, and not on the same page there. Thus the incompletion, but it's been Byrne the whole night. I mean, they're going empty backfield. They're saying, hey, win it for us with your arm, Tucker Byrne.
Byrne 22 of 37 passing tonight. 208 yards and 3 touchdowns. Quick throw for Byrne, a completion. And up near midfield was Hernandez. Down to Tiffany.
Guys, Rick Darlington has talked all season long about his seniors and what they mean to this program, specifically Chandler Karks and Martez Ivy. And Ivy was in the huddle with the defense, clapping him up, but he was also in the face of blocking back to Kari Campbell, saying, you know what, we didn't come this far to lose. This game, we have to finish. This is our game to claim. Guys?
Tiff, Rick Darlington told us earlier this week that Martez has grown more as a man than he has as a player. So proud of what he's become. 3rd down and 3. Quick throw. Ivan Smith has it. Made a man miss to get the first down. Stays on his feet. Laquan Hicks and Billy Coggle usher him out of bounds. There's a penalty flag down at the 43. So we'll check the marker. If it stands, it's a gain inside the Blue Darters 30.
Well, Ivan Smith, the tailback, is just, that's going to go against Columbus. And that looks like Ivan Smith on the sideline. Ivan Smith, when Chris Merritt described him to us, the first thing that quickly came out of his mouth was that he's electric. You saw a little bit of that right there. They're having to put him at receiver to get
during the
touches
run,
to him.
There was a legal block in the back against the offense. The 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
So not offensive interference, though that was the signal. A block in the back, which is not as punitive. There's Austin Maloney blocking downfield.
Now you wonder if that was the call. Close call there.
There's also an injury timeout on the field.
Boy, a lot of injuries for Columbus.
That occurred 10 yards downfield. So we'll go right back to 3rd and 3. Just more than 4 minutes remaining in the 8A title game. Columbus down 2 scores most of the night. And flags come down prior to the snap. Could be back-to-back penalties against the Explorers.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
One more look at how Ivan Smith got hurt along the sideline.
We had a nice run here to finish and got some celebration going on. He seems fine. See what happens here, because that's what delayed injury there. I think his hamstring. Start tightening up on him. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
From 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. Pressure off the edge. Byrne lets it go, and it's high for Hernandez. Dimitri King in coverage, now 4th down, and a decision for Chris Merritt.
Defensive coordinator Jeff Rolson now bringing lots of pressure, trying to get heat on Byrne, and again, getting hit by 2 defenders from Apopka. Forces that throw to go a little bit high, and a timeout by Chris Merritt. Watch him take another hit here by Coggle coming off the edge, blitzing from the left side.
That was his 40th pass attempt tonight. Recruiting Central has all the latest buzz from the recruiting world with analysis from experts across the state. Whose stock is rising? How does a commitment impact your favorite college team? Plus, interact with us on social media as we answer your tweets. It's Recruiting Central, Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. on Bright House Sports Network, your home for high school sports. You don't want to overstate how big this play is. There's still 4 minutes left in the game. But if Columbus doesn't convert, they may not see the football again.
They may not. You know, they got their first 3 and out on the previous possession. It's the first time Apopka had punted the whole night. So this is huge right here for Columbus.
Hopes of bringing a first ever state title back to Miami-Dade County may very well be on the line for the Explorers. 4th down and 8. Byrne deep down the sideline. No one near that pass. Look of confusion from Maloney and Hernandez. Landed in between those two and about 15 yards downfield.
Defensive coordinator Jeff Rolson again brought pressure into the face of Tucker Byrne, making him rush his throws, and right there, not on the same page. Austin Maloney ran a corner route. Looks like Tucker Byrne threw a post route, and Apopka gets off the field to bring their offense on.
Blue Darters defense gets a huge stop. And now an opportunity to pick up a few first downs and perhaps run out the clock. Oh, it's got to be frustrating to Chris Merritt. You call a timeout to make sure everyone's on the same page, and then a miscommunication.
Disappointing, but now defensively you're going to try to get 3 and out and get off the field.
Cox on the right side. Once again, taking defenders downfield for a gain of 7. A look at the night for the senior so far.
Well, he's just so versatile, and what a powerful runner. He ran over Handy right there, got introduced to Chandler Cox intimately. You see how he just punishes defenders, try to bring you down. He's just so strong physically, and then the arm talent. He's just a complete football player.
That touchdown pass came on 3rd and goal from the 22. Watching that play clock, now down under 5. It could be Cox on every play from here on in for Apopka. look at his numbers through the years.
Four-year starter on this varsity football team. We've watched him grow in front of our eyes, Austin, haven't we, over the last 4 years? See the numbers. And there's not a stat for intangible leadership qualities. There's not a stat for that, but I'm telling you, this guy has it. He's the type of guy you want on your football team.
Direct snap to Deshaun Massey, leading rusher tonight. He makes a mistake by going out of bounds. Coaching staff not going to be happy with that. But it is near a first down run, and he immediately points to himself. My bad.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's another stat in there, not in there, that's blocking. You can see that at play again. You'll see Chandler Cox. He told us last time we covered Apopka, he said he almost enjoys blocking for his teammates more than he does carrying the ball. He's an outstanding blocker.
Also the long snapper for this team, routinely the first guy down covering special teams. He's a special high school football player. Lowers his shoulder and takes it inside the 15. At this rate, Apopka may very well tack on another score before running out the clock. A punishing, rushing attack from the Blue Darters. And inching closer to a third state championship. One of the benefits for high school teams at the Citrus Bowl, you get to see that play clock in the end zone. That's not the case at most high schools. Cox has carried it 4 of the last 5 plays for Apopka. That time a gain of about 3 as we tick down closer to 2 minutes to go, and Columbus with just 1 timeout remaining. Blue Darters with state championships in 2001 and 2012. Trying to match Cocoa for the most in Central Florida history. This is Massey. And doesn't want to risk going out of bounds to pick up extra yardage. Smart play at this point to go down inbounds right in front of Zach Vandermark. And Columbus takes their final timeout with 95 seconds to go.
Smart play by Massey, and like you mentioned earlier, Austin,
Columbus.
2 plays before would have been much more beneficial for Massey. He had done the same thing, stayed in bounds. But you've got to be careful here. You know, it's 3rd down and 7. If you're Apopka, you got to make sure the minute 35, if you don't come away with points, to leave as little amount of time on the clock for Columbus.
Log on to BHSN.com for the most up-to-date scores, stats, and information on all of the FHSAA finals. Bright Owl Sports Network is your home for high school sports. Channel 47, HD 1147, and BHSN.com. If Apopka gets a first down, they would be able to run out the clock. Third down and 8. Chandler Cox diving to the 5 where it'll be 4th and 1. Rick Darlington talking it over on the Apopka sideline. A field goal makes it a 10-point game with under a minute to go.
Rick Darlington plays to win. And number 11 will carry the football. There's no field goal right now for Rick Darlington and his mindset.
Play clock at 10 as we go under a minute to go. A first down ends it. 4th and 1 for Apopka. It's Chandler Cox. Down to the 4. It's going to depend on the spot.
I think he's short.
Clock stops with 49 seconds. And a measurement may very well determine whether the Blue Darters clinch the state title. Columbus defense certainly confident that they got to stop.
We're going to take a timeout for a measurement.
Even if Apopka's short, Columbus has to go the length of the field in 49 seconds.
With no timeouts.
Wouldn't be unprecedented this year. Oak Ridge and Edgewater both with long drives in the final minute to get wins. They will stretch the chains out. It's short. The Columbus defense holds, and the Explorers will have one more chance.
Will now be interested to see if defensive coordinator Jeff Rolson from Apopka sticks to his plan of bringing extra bodies on Tucker Byrne to get him to release that ball quicker than he wants to. I imagine he will. But for Tucker Byrne, he's got to be ready for his hurry-up attack and have plays called at the line of scrimmage here with no timeouts. And if your receiver's catching the ball, you've got to get out of bounds.
Guys like Bascom and Hardwick are 25 yards downfield. Remember, clock will stop after any first down. Columbus needs a touchdown. Apopka rushes just 3. There's a completion underneath, short of the first down. Clock going to keep running now, under 40 seconds.
Apopka choosing to play a safer, deeper coverage, not bringing extra heat.
Columbus taking a lot of time now, under a half minute. And incomplete. Broken up by Laquan Hicks.
Nice break on the ball by Hicks. But probably smart, good that was incomplete. It stops the clock. If he had caught that ball, boy, they lost a lot of time with 25 seconds left. They're going to need some more chunk plays here at this point with no timeouts left.
3rd down and 3. Byrne to the outside. Maloney diving effort. It's ruled incomplete. Maloney adamant that he caught it.
Yeah, Tucker Byrne would want that one back. He had Maloney open and kind of threw that ball low. He had good protection. That ball just too low. If you can have it, it looked like he got underneath that.
Sure did. I think that's clearly a catch. But ruled incomplete. 4th down and 3. Here's the game. Catch made by Fernandez, and he gets out of bounds at the 18. With just 14 seconds left. I'm thinking maybe 3 more plays at the most for Columbus, barring a penalty.
At the most, and that's if you can catch the ball out near the sideline. If they have to throw into the middle of the field, it's going to be tough.
Byrne knocked away by David Britzius.
Good job by Jeff Rolson, defensive coordinator. He's got his linebackers deep to get underneath any of these sideline routes to knock the ball down. They want to invite the intermediate throw into the middle of the field, make a tackle, and then the clock will run out.
Down to 10 seconds. Byrne down the middle. It's a completion. Lateral to Maloney. He looks to have the first down. And the clock has stopped with 3 seconds left. I'm not sure that official wanted it to stop. There's been no indication that that's a first down, but the clock does stop with 3 seconds. Columbus better be ready to snap this thing if they rule that it wasn't a first down.
They're going to wind this, and they're going to run out of time.
One more play for Columbus. Now it winds. Ball spotted. That's it. It's over. Apopka wins the 8A state championship.
Bill Coggle and his son, hugging his son. Senior year and a state championship, Austin. How about a 4-loss team? Goes through the highs and lows of a season. Plays their best football when it counts and wins a state championship.
First time ever in the large classification that a team with 4 losses is the state champion. Apopka up 14-0 early. Looked like they might run away with it. Turned into a heck of a game.
It really did. And how about Tucker Byrne? Quarterback really had it on his shoulders. This is a team, is a run-first I team. If you hadn't seen Columbus before, they like to line up in I-based type of a set and rush the football and have a mix of pass and run. Typically, Tucker Byrne will throw about 22 passes a game. And tonight, he easily doubled that amount. They abandoned the run because it was ineffective. Hats off to Columbus.
Minus 11 yards, the lowest total ever in a state championship game. Apopka with the state title. We're back to the Citrus Bowl after this.
One of the players possibly to ever come out of Apopka.
I vote for him.
What has he meant to your program, and what does he mean to you?
He's built a building block with those other 8 seniors that have been playing for 3 years here and been here 3 times, won 2, and he's such a huge reason. He's the same guy every day, and he's a great testament to his parents and to what the Lord can do in someone's life. He's a young man that we just love to death. We're going to miss him, but right now I ain't missing him. Right now I'm thankful for him.
You've had the opportunity to win all 3 state titles. How does this compare to the others?
It feels like a relief. You know, it just doesn't feel real. It's like we couldn't put the thing away, and at the end, you know, we thought, okay, let's not risk a field goal getting blocked. Let's hammer Chandler in there, and then daggone. But the defense came up good at the end, made some plays. So, you know, we won't remember what the game was like in years. We'll remember we won a state championship after having 4 losses in the regular season, and that's a testament to their character and the way these guys have fought through adversity. So just very, very blessed and very thankful.
Lastly, Coach, you said you had the opportunity to either be better or be different. You guys are different with that single wing attack, but you were also the better team tonight.
Well, we did what we had to do to win. You know, the defense made some plays in the first half, and then the offense did some uncharacteristic things with fumbles and negative plays. But, you know, we found a way, like we did against Oviedo, and it was a tough game, and this was a very tough game. That's a great football team, but great way to find a way to win. State championship, hard to believe it. Hard to believe it.
Congratulations, Coach, and I know all of Apopka is celebrating if they're not out here tonight. Guys?
All right, Tiffany, thank you very much. 3 consecutive trips to the Citrus Bowl for Apopka, and for the second time in 3 years, the Blue Darters are at the top of the mountain in Florida's largest classification. All 3 games exciting in their own way. Felt like they were trading blows tonight. Both offenses producing long drives in the second half, and then Apopka's defense comes up with 2 huge stops down the stretch.
Huge stops, and I think one of the keys down the stretch was defensive coordinator Jeff Rolson bringing extra pressure on Tucker Byrne. They were limited to just throwing the football every down. They made their correct adjustments, and it turned into a tremendous win for Apopka.
How about Chandler Cox? You saw the numbers, 24 carries for 105 yards. He also threw a touchdown pass tonight, willing to do whatever it takes in whatever fashion to help this program.
You'd love to have a guy like Chandler Cox. It's got to be bittersweet for Rick Darlington, a 4-year starter on the varsity. Now he loses Chandler Cox to Auburn. Gus Malzahn's getting a great player. He's outstanding. 9
seniors on this Apopka team tonight took the field for their 3rd championship game, and they take a 2nd state title in 3 seasons back to Northwest Orange County. As we go down to the field, Preston Jackson and Mark Robinson.
Austin, thanks, my man. A fitting ending to a great bunch of seniors. Some guys ended their high school careers on a high note. Mark, let's react real quick to what we saw tonight. Apopka did some really good things offensively. They controlled the ball game. Their defense stood tall when they needed to. That's what I really thought was the difference in the ball game was Apopka defense, but their offense really controlled the clock.
Yeah, they really did. Coming out, remember the first drive, they drove down, scored points, but took a lot of time off the clock. Then later in the 4th quarter, drove down again and scored again, taking a long time off the clock. And in the end, you know, defense coming together. It was a team victory and a well-deserved victory for Apopka.
Chandler Cox was amazing tonight. came through in a big way, threw a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, had big-time yards when they needed on 3rd and short, carried guys, ran over guys. He was the big fish in a big pond tonight, and his play was really refreshing to see.
It really was, and I call him the closer now, because really when you knew the game was on the line right there at the end, you knew who was going to get the ball. We're standing down there watching it come right at us, Preston, and I said, hey, the closer's going to get the ball. He did, and he closed out the game.
Bittersweet for Austin Maloney, the receiver over at Columbus, had a big-time game, had 8 receptions, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. Really played good in a losing effort.
Well, he really did, and he continued to lead out there. One of the unfortunate things, had the catch over there. Probably wouldn't have made a difference in the game, but he did make the catch over there, and they called it incomplete. But shows a lot of class for this organization. They can't hang their heads. They have to be really proud. Great effort, great comeback effort. I mean, they made this a game when it probably shouldn't have been early on, because Apopka had taken a commanding lead.
Apopka gave up a lot of points throughout the season, but tonight they gave up only 23, which is big. They have been giving up 24 a game. The defense was really a big key.
Yeah, they were spot on defensively. I mean, when they put the pressure at the end of the game and really didn't give Tucker Byrne much time out there to throw the football, to survey the field, good strategical move out there, really made the difference in the game. This team was flying around, and really they were struggling at times to stop the pass, and all of a sudden they rallied as a defense and they closed out the deal.
Well, for Preston Jackson, Mark Robinson, it's a beautiful scene down here at the field side. We're going to send it right back upstairs to Austin and Pat. They'll finish us off.
All right, guys, great job the last 2 weeks. Great work the last 2 weeks there, Preston Jackson and Mark Robinson. Your final score: Apopka defeats Columbus 30-23 in the 8A championship game tonight. Pat, how about some final thoughts on not just what we saw tonight, but what we saw throughout the entire season?
Well, it's just amazing to me with Apopka. That's a 4-loss team that just won the state championship. For a head coach to keep his team grounded and overcome some of those losses, the opening loss to Oak Ridge, tough loss to Edgewater, it's just amazing that they can keep his team grounded and come back and play their best football when it really counted and make it and culminate here for a state championship 2 out of the last 3 years.
And they match Cocoa as the only Central Florida teams ever to win 3 state championships. Rick Darlington has been a part of all 3, continues to take this program to new heights.
Absolutely, and the 2 of the last 3 have been against teams from South Florida. And it's a large statement for a Central Florida team being able to do that, and the ability to win a state championship here, and for Apopka to do it in their hometown here, just down the road from their high school. What a tremendous effort, not only by the players, but the coaching staff and the community of Apopka.
Your final score: Apopka defeats Columbus 30-23. This game has been produced by Bright House Sports Network, the official television partner of the Florida High School Athletic Association. Well, the season started way back in August for these teams. Spring workouts, spring football, summer workouts, all culminating with these state finals. And Apopka wins 1 for Central Florida. I want to give a huge thanks to our entire crew, producers, directors, cameramen, audio technicians, everybody playing such a huge role in our production of these state finals. A special group to share this with. Glory goes to Apopka tonight. For our entire Bright House Sports Network crew, Pat O'Hara, Tiffany Green down on the field, Preston Jackson, and Mark Robinson. Austin Lyons saying so long from the Citrus Bowl. For the 2nd time in 3 years, the Apopka Blue Darters are the Class 8A state champions.